welcome to Garblag Games. Tonight I am Ben, I'm the Game Master. We're going to be doing a special one-shot of Spire by Rowan, Rook and Decard. This is a wonderful, wonderful game, and I hope everybody enjoys it. It looks fantastic, and we're really looking forward to getting into it. So, in a moment, we're going to go around, see who everybody is. We haven't got characters yet, so we're going to build those in a minute. But first, the dutifully reminders that Pete has told me he will cut my toes off if I don't do. Social media, we've got some. Some of them are made up. I mean, I don't even know if they're real.
There's a list below.
There's a list. I'm sure some of them aren't
Twitter,
real.
MeWe.
MeWe,
That one,
seriously?
that's not real.
That's real. Yeah.
He tells us it's real. We don't believe him.
Just because I'm getting old.
More importantly, we have a Discord, which has got a whole buttload of people on there, and we're having loads of conversations about role-playing. We've got a couple of little games going on there. We've just started a Dawn of Worlds game, which is looking pretty interesting.
Yep.
Building a world from scratch. We've got map-making crew on there who are talking about their maps, sharing stuff. We've got galleries and access to all kinds of really useful content.
And special patron channels.
A special patron challenge, for the special patron chillers. And that leads into the Patreon, which we also have one off, which Pete is hoping to retire on. So we need to get on there and start throwing money at him because he's poor. Really, that's why we're
Full-time
in this garage.
Garblag would be awesome.
Yeah.
But it's a way off.
You can also support us by supporting our friends, Thornless Rose, who's Sam's sister, to be fair. So, you know.
With very cool leather
Very
lasery
cool
products.
leather lasery
Stuff,
things. We got the dice trays. We got the mega awesome
Stuff.
D20 dice bags. Pretty fantastic stuff. I backed the Kickstarter, so I'm getting one, and it's going to be all shiny.
And you'll do a better job of putting it together than I did.
The Old World Podcast are big friends of ours. They've been friends of ours since we started filming Flint and Steel.
Flint and Steel!
I'm sorry, I did
He's
it
here
wrong.
today.
Sorry.
I did it wrong. Flint and Steel.
Gotcha.
Pull me out.
Yeah, so
I wasn't expecting it.
That was a thing anyway. And Bjørn Felle, who is also a person that is a friend.
Mark, on our Dark Heresy
Yep.
show, he's got some very cool
And he's going to be in Star
retro,
Wars.
electro...
Oh, the
funky
retro
music.
electro stuff. Yeah, that is cool, actually.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you should do that.
Yes.
Right, so we're going to go around the room, and we're going to start with Sam.
Hi, I'm Sam.
That was hard.
Yep.
I'm Leon. Hello.
It's me, Pete.
Simon.
And I'm still Ben.
Cool.
Okay, we are running a competition, or we have been running a competition, and we're going to let you know who the winner is of that using our incredibly advanced Danish random number generator,
Yes.
which is being supervised by a highly competent data analytical specialist right now.
Leon, who knows a bit of Danish as well, which is handy.
He might even be able to tell you the number in Danish as long as it's person 1 to 6.
I can do 1 to 5.
I can do 9 and 10 as well.
Oh.
Wait, can I do 10?
No,
Oh.
you can't.
It's
What
been a
was
while.
the competition for, Ben?
The competition was to win these copies of Strata and Spire
That's very
by Rowan, Rook and Decard. Both very, very beautiful. I can't actually hear with these. Both very, very beautiful books. Incredibly beautiful. The artwork
So-
is just
Yeah.
mind-blowing.
Absolutely.
The storyline, the system is fantastic stuff. I was super enthusiastic to back their Kickstarters.
And did.
And will again in future. And, you know, the guys have been kind enough to send us a copy of the books
Yeah.
to do as a giveaway, which is really, really cool. There's a couple of posters as well, but Pete left those in his house.
But we showed them on one
We
of the
did show
social
them,
medias.
yeah.
Some
One
of the
of the
social
Showed them on the
medias.
video the other day as well.
Yeah.
So there will be the winner of that competition will be drawn shortly. However, first, we need to make some characters. This is a nice speedy process in this game. We have character sheets, which I am doubting you'll be able to see, but they're very, very cool.
You can get the character sheets just free PDF.
You can. It's free PDF off of the Rowan, Rook and Decard website. They also have many, many other cool free PDFs, including Sexy Battle Wizards, which is definitely worth checking out. It's their take on Mage, and it's pretty awesome.
Sexy Battle Wizards.
Sexy Battle Wizards.
I mean, that is how I play Mage.
So everyone plays Mage.
I did Mage wrong.
You just remember your character's like a Winston Churchill type, and now I don't know what you think sexy is.
He was an accountant, and numbers are sexy. You should know that, data analyst man.
Numbers are pretty sexy.
So the basic premise of Spire is very, very simple. You are playing downtrodden, scummy, drow, poverty-ridden people who are crushed under the elegantly booted heel of their high elf, the Elfir overlords. And player characters are members of a revolutionary cell seeking to bring down the Spire, overthrow the high elves, and put themselves back in top. So characters are all revolutionaries, however they're also illegal. It's illegal to be a revolutionary. It's got a little tiny hint of some elements of paranoia thrown in there with that. You're all revolutionaries, but revolutionaries are illegal. It's
Happiness is mandatory.
Well, no, it's not. Unless you're a high elf, in which case, who knows? But the Drow of Spire are a varied and diverse bunch, and there are a wide range of character classes. Now, these are not classic D&D character classes.
No.
These are very, very different indeed.
So very cool.
Oh, they are. They're
Very cool.
just so cool.
Yeah.
So,
How many different classes are there?
some.
In the main book, there are 12.
And then
Okay.
there are two additional ones
D12.
in...
No. Oh, yeah, 10, sorry. And
There
then
are
there
12
are 2
in
more.
total.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are 10
So we're gonna-
in the original Spire book, and then an additional 2 in Strata.
Sam likes to randomly generate all of her characters.
She does, and there's
Hey, it's worked so far.
And we're going to have to wait to see what she rolls, and then we can all pick something else.
Well, no,
Why
it's
don't
fine.
we all
If
just
you do one
random
already, then I'll just re-roll it. It's fine.
I mean, the odds of us getting the
I'm not
same.
worried. I want to be a midwife.
Okay, yeah.
I did see that, actually.
Simon's
Yeah,
done his
that's cool.
homework. He wants to be a midwife, and I don't blame him because midwives are the coolest. I mean, I want to be a midwife because they're just awesome. The midwives
Yeah.
are the sort of guardians of the drow young, because drow in this setting lay eggs rather than giving birth to live young, where they're tended in communal creche nurseries by priestess bodyguards called midwives.
Spider priestesses.
Spider priestess bodyguard midwives.
It sounded cool. It's great.
It's not like you're disguising as a midwife to sneak into a prison in Warhammer or
This
something.
is absolutely
No, it just sounded.
Yeah, no, it's great. The cast
total
is awesome.
adjective game. Midwives. Page 61. Let's have a look at some of these.
The artwork is very evocative of BPRD and Hellboy
Yes.
comics. It's
Definitely.
just
Yes,
really.
here is the artwork for a midwife.
It's kind of cool.
Yep.
They have extra arms because
They
kind
do.
of cheating.
They do have extra arms.
true.
It's
Wow.
one of the things that midwives can do. They can have extra arms. So in the beginning, the first thing you need to do when you're creating a character is you need to start with a thing called your durance. All drow are subject to enforced servitude to high elf lords for a period of time known as the durance. It is basically slave labour, but it would be rude to call it that because the high elves are never rude.
Never.
Never.
What happens if you finish your durance?
After you've finished your durance,
You're dead.
thanks, bye.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. You've served your purpose to us now. Now go away and trouble us no further.
Down in the depths.
Down
of
in the
spire.
depths of the
Okay.
spire.
Okay.
So you get sent back down to the spire to carry on with your old life again, if you can pick it up after having been a servant, soldier, plaything, toy
Okay.
model for the High Elves, who are very old and decidedly bizarre and perverse.
Yeah, because we're not only like a resource, but we're like a plaything.
Yep.
As well.
I leaned forward in a slightly creepy way when I said perverse then. I
Yes.
apologise.
So sorry.
So, you begin with your durance, and your durance covers one of a range of different skills. You can be an acolyte, an agent, a builder, a dealer. Sam is counting these so she can roll a dice on it. A duelist, enlisted guard, human emissary, hunter, information broker, killer, labourer, occultist, personal assistant, pet, sage, spy, or you might have bunked out on your durance altogether and been a criminal or a low-lying hiding person.
I got 17.
Instead.
That seems like a weird number.
Well, you could round it up to 20 because there's a whole bunch of different things you could have done.
Okay.
So that's sort of a quick overview of the durances that
Right,
are available.
should we get on
So
to
think about what you would have been used for. It often leads into the character class you want to be.
Okay, where?
It's endurance.
2.
Endurance are on page 26.
26.
2, an agent.
Like James Bond. Probably not.
You served as a connection between your master and the underworld, doing whatever needed to be done to ensure the success of their business enterprises. You are adept at covering your tracks and in the know when it comes to the criminal element.
So Galva.
I'm going with Sam on this. 14.
Okay. Could you roll for me, please? Because I'm terrible at choices.
Would you like? You can roll.
Thank you.
14.
Personal assistant.
Sounds too
Good.
I'm a PA.
well,
Great. High fantasy.
So fill in what you got on
Was
your
that the same
endurance.
14?
14.
You got 14. That would have made you a personal assistant. So you want to
Reroll.
reroll, so you get a different number.
Third time lucky. 9.
Hunter.
Hunter.
That sounds much cooler than
I might be an occultist.
Hunters,
Oh,
you
shall I
hunted
roll?
wild beasts around the minarets of the upper spire. Either
Nice.
you aided your master in their hunts for sport, or you hunted alone for their table.
Ooh.
Can I borrow your D20 then?
You may.
No.
That's a 12.
This one.
Good roll.
You're dyslexic, aren't you?
What's that?
19.
Oh, blimey.
That's not a number.
That'd be one of the criminally ones down at the bottom there.
Okay.
Pete.
Oh, let's have that.
How many are there?
There's about 1, 2, 3,
10?
4, 5, 6, 7,
About
8, 9. I might just randomly pick the one that I wanted earlier on then and be an occultist.
You'd be an occultist. So each durance gives you various different things. So as an agent, Sam, down at the bottom you would have +2 shadow resistance.
Nice.
Is this something
2?
to work with a pen or a pencil?
And
I'm
you,
going with a pen because I'm brave.
Go
you
for it.
can tick
Drow.
the crime domain, which
Okay.
is up here,
Oh, cool.
down the side.
It's cult.
So what did you get, Simon?
I got a PA.
The personal
It's
assistant
not
gets
cult, it's compel, sorry, yes.
+2 silver and compel.
So you got some cash.
Yes, I was a robber. Because, I'm incompetent and tick Sam's
Hunter
off
gets-
my-
Hunter gets pursue and
I've
sneak,
got a
left it
pen.
now.
You can just
which is
overwrite.
2 skills.
I guess cross, yep.
Just remember
I'm not on one of my
and
bags.
sneak.
There's a fresh character sheet if you want.
I don't think that's right.
Okay, so I'm
And occultist gets
occultist.
+2 shadow and occult.
Okay, occult.
That
Funnily
makes,
enough.
that makes sense.
There we go. And that one, and +2. +2 shadow. Cool.
Okay, lovely jubbly. This then leads into potential character classes. You've already chosen midwife, so by all means stick with that. Then other character classes, there are the Azurites, which are sort of merchant priests of a gold god. There are the Bound, who are like Batman meets Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They're vigilantes who dwell in high places and create secret pacts with tiny small gods of weapons.
This is the picture of the Bound.
It's Batman.
It's Batman
Spawn.
with a dagger.
It's Batman and Spider-Man
with a
and
cloak.
And Spider-Man,
Spawn
yeah.
and
Yep.
probably not Deadpool, to be fair.
It's not that kind of. It's not that kind of game.
Not that kind of revolution.
No. No.
There are the Carrion priests, who are priests of a death god, and
I was going to dibs not that
not that
for reasons.
for reasons.
They start with a hyena
They do start with a hyena.
that they feed.
Yes, but
dead bodies
hi, I'm
of
the
people
priest
to.
of a death god,
I know.
and I have crows, and oh wait, no, that's Morgan.
There is the Firebrand, who is your rabble-rousing ideologue who wants to start the revolution now, waving flags, standing on the table in the
Wearing
Winter
bandanas.
Palace.
Literally waving a flag.
You will notice that guns are a thing in setting from some of these images. They are still pretty cool. A lot of them are unreliable and may blow your arm off.
Yeah. So what sort of tech level are we talking?
It's slightly steampunkian,
Okay.
so it's not really correlated directly to Earth tech.
Sure.
It's a little bit magic,
Some
a little
bits.
bit technology.
Cool.
Some of the stuff that they use for gunpowder, rather than being gunpowder, is the congealed gunk that builds up on the spires.
Cool.
So is it a bit Final Fantasy in like that mix of some people will run around with swords, some people have guns,
Yeah.
but everything is
Yeah,
goes
anywhere
kind
in
of thing.
between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are the idols. Idols are pretty cool, actually. They are your superstars. They're the artists, the singers, the performers, painters, decorators.
What is truth
plumbers.
when you have beauty?
Yeah. They are very, very commonly favoured as pets of the High Elves and often leave their durance with a little bit of extra cash and go on to become very successful performers in their own right, developing little followings around them of people. Following on from them, we've got the Knights. These are not in a classical sense, knights. The knights originally started out as knightly orders, but gradually devolved over time and are now knightly orders, each one based out of a specific pub. Based on an ancient rule, knights are the only people allowed to carry large visible weapons around the spire, but they're basically brawling drunkards with great swords now, instead of being the holy order of warriors that they once were. There are the Lejan. Lejan are the permitted priests of the Drow moon goddess, and
It's quite serious.
they kind of fill the classical role of the cleric, the healer, the priest and advisor. Now, they're the only members of the legal clergy. The Drow goddess is a three-faced one in this setting, and everyone here worships the dark face, but the Lejan worship the light face as well. There are the masked, who are basically super spies. You put on a mask, you become that person. It's ultimate identity theft, sneaking, spying, finding stuff out, with the risk of occasionally losing yourself in an alternate identity.
Hate when that happens.
Yeah.
There's role playing, it's dangerous.
Then there's Simon.
Then there are the midwives, who we've already talked about very briefly. Simon's quite proud of them.
Okay.
And they can adopt spider-like traits as they grow more powerful. And then lastly, from the Spire main book, are the Vermissian Sages. Now, the Vermissian is a failed attempt at making a mass transit system that ran through the whole Spire that kind of collapsed in on the magical, technological, beating living, is it a god, is it something else, heart of Spire, and ended up becoming the sort of extra planar hole in space-time.
Oops.
And the Vermissian Sages use it as a massive library, and they can sort of dip in through a door someplace in the Spire and pop out of a door somewhere else in the Spire, because they're taking shortcuts through what is effectively a mass transit library.
So it sounds like L space.
It is L space. Yeah, in some ways, yeah.
They can cast people into it when they're more powerful. They
Yeah.
disappear.
That's right.
And because they're used to it, they don't go insane, but other people do. Because you're dealing with non-Euclidean geometries and other fun such things. Then Strata, which was the wonderful sequel to Spire, introduced two new character classes. The Inksmith and the Shadow Agent. Now, this is
That's very cool.
just awesome. The Inksmith is basically a pulp noir detective journalist who can rewrite reality with the power of their words. And the Shadow Agent is someone that has lost everything to the goddess of the darkness but come back with something else. The ability to sort of rebuild their identity, a little bit like the Masked, only significantly creepier.
Creepy is a general theme, I think.
There is a lot of creepy.
That's why Ben's running it.
I know. We shipped him in from the Isle of Wights. You got good clippers. Okay, cool.
So there's your character class choices.
So Sam, you got a roll?
I did.
Oh, you did. What did you get?
Agent.
Wasn't that your durance?
Oh, the different
class.
one.
Yeah.
No, yes, sorry,
Rolling for your
12.
class now.
D12.
so
I was paying attention. I got 4.
the firebrand.
Well.
That's your own fault for putting the headband on.
Yep.
Headband already, so that's good.
So how does the class work with your endurance? Is your endurance something in your past?
Your endurance is your past, and then
that's
your class
right,
is
okay.
what you've
Background.
become.
Right.
You can have complementary endurance and class. You
Yeah.
can have completely oppositional ones.
But it
so
can-
someone
right.
who was a pet may have hated it so much that they come out the other side as a firebrand,
Yeah.
or drink so much to forget their sorrows that they end up swearing a knight's allegiance
Yep. Okay.
and coming out like that.
Crazy
so
knights.
Was it 12?
Yep, go for it. Whoa.
No, missed the table.
7.
the Lejan,
Ooh.
Priest.
priests.
Okay.
I'm tempted by the Inksmith or the Vermisian Sage, but I'm going to roll as well.
Just do odds and evens. See which one you get.
Okay, odds is Inksmith, and evens is Vermisian Sage. Just like saying that as well.
Oh, you're-
Odds.
Odds.
I'm an Inksmith.
Inksmith.
Here we go. So that's good. You can have that book, and I'll have this book.
Flag is purple.
The flag is purple. So is his little.
See?
It's meant to
Random
be.
rolling characters.
Wasn't that random, was it?
Right, okay, Firebrand, you gain the additional following resistances. Reputation 3, +3,
Yep.
and Shadow +1.
Okay, so that's plus
So they
3
add up.
total now.
Yep.
Cool.
There is a box on the character sheet called Refresh.
Yep.
Refresh is what you can do to help yourself get rid of stress. And your Refresh action is to take something back from those who would oppress you.
Cool.
Smash the State Glorious 5-year plan. You gain the skills of Compel and Steal,
Yep.
and the
Yep.
domains of Low Society and Crime.
I already had crime.
Double crime.
Double crime.
Woo!
It means that you roll with
worst.
mastery on crime.
Ooh.
Oh, there
Okay.
is actually a double crime. Oh, wow. Okay.
So just colour
Just
that one
double
in.
tick it. Just put another tick.
I
next
already
to it.
coloured it in.
Then cross next
Put an
to
M
it.
next to it.
Well, no, I mean, because you said tick things, and I coloured it in earlier.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
There you go.
I knew.
And you can choose the following equipment.
Yep.
You get either a knife, sap, or brass knuckles, or a sledgehammer or pickaxe.
Oh, brass knuckles.
Yeah, the first ones.
Okay, so brass knuckles, so that would be an equipment. They do D3 and are concealable.
Oh, handy.
Yeah.
Indeed they are.
And you can choose a crow pattern revolver or a buzzard sawn-off shotgun.
I'm going to go with a
Can't
revolver.
have a crow. It's a crow.
It's a crow revolver.
Gather has a shotgun. Going with a revolver.
Okay.
So
And yeah, it's a crow.
Crow pattern revolver, D6, unreliable. And we'll come back to Bond in a minute.
Okay.
What was it you
Lejean.
Lejean.
Oh, I like saying that.
Lejean.
Sounds like a singer from the 80s.
Okay, but what was your history? You weren't like a prisoner
I was
or
a
anything,
hunter.
were you?
No. Hunter, prisoner that became a priest.
Yep.
That would be on the nose, wouldn't it?
Too soon.
Yeah.
So your resistances that you get are Mind +2 and Reputation +2.
Cool.
Your Refresh action is to help those who cannot help themselves.
Yep.
You gain the skills Fix and Resist.
Fix and resist. Yep.
And the domains of Religion and Low Society.
Cool.
And Low Society might be becoming something of a theme.
It's almost like that's kind of where we are anyway.
That's good.
Okay.
And then you get a ceremonial set of robes and wooden and silver jewellery. So robes and jewellery, ceremonial.
Cool.
And then you can choose to join one of two orders. Lod Nasan, which is the Order of Blood, or Lod Limyanjan, which is the Order of Silver Light. Depending on which one you choose, the Order of Blood gets you a knife and a healer's kit, and the Order of Silver Light gets you a moon silver staff.
I've got a staff in the other one, so the
I was
blood
going to
one.
say wizards.
Okay, so you get a knife, which does D3 damage and is concealable.
Cool.
And a healer's kit. And here is one of the other really cool things about Spire. it just says in brackets, describe it. And the rule they've got for when you describe things is you give it one thing about it that's really good and one thing about it that's really rubbish. So if you're in a situation where the really good thing comes into play, you roll with mastery. And if you're in a situation where you've got the shonky side of it coming into effect, you roll disadvantage. So, for instance, one of the examples to give you in the book is a parasol that is really sturdy but awful colours. So in a social situation, it's a disadvantage to have it, but if it's windy and raining, you're at an advantage because it's really sturdy. So you need to describe your healer's kit.
Okay. Oh, tell you what will be in my healer's kit anyway.
Well, you have a think.
Okay,
I can come back to that. You guys have got the book over there, so you know what you're getting. So
I'm the Inksmith, so I got +2 to reputation and +1 to shadow, which is now at +3, which I assume is quite handy. My refresh is do something reckless for the sake of a good story,
Hey!
which sounds like fun. Sorry if I cock it up for everyone tonight.
you can't cock up this. Everything
true.
will work out fine.
And then I got compel and investigate for skills, and low society and occult for domain. So I now have mastery on occult, which is cool. And I get I'm having a pistol, a Grackler pistol, which is D6 brutal, one shot, ranged.
A lot of these things have got descriptor words with them, like brutal, concealable, unreliable, and things like that. These are little extra descriptors that give you a bit of a clue about what can happen with the weapons or items in question. So a brutal thing tends to hurt more when it hits. Something that's concealable, pretty self-explanatory. An unreliable gun doesn't always fire when you want it to.
Or maybe it does when you don't.
Yeah.
So, midwife, I've got resistances, blood +2, reputation +1, mind +1. My refresh is defend the defenceless, save those eggs. And skills, I've got fix and fight. Domains, obviously occult and low society. Blend do any of them have different let's check. Equipment, I have a ceremonial silk robes. And I have a weighted chain. So I have the choice of twin razors or weighted chain. I'm going with weighted chain, which is D3, concealable, and stunning.
Stunning.
So it's a good-looking weighted chain.
Especially up close.
And it's got things like bonds and core ability, but people haven't been reading them.
Right, yeah, so we've come on to the bit where we do bonds.
Okay.
Everybody starts off with 2 bonds, with the exception of, I think, icons, who start off with about 1 million. So Firebrand, you have 3 bonds. You have 2 individual level bonds with folk who are sympathetic to your goals. Pick 2 domains and create an NPC bond for each of them. So you look in the domains, you might have like an academic who's sort of a Marxist academic who thinks that revolution sounds like a wonderful and jolly thing to have.
Tech, because toys.
Yeah.
And crime, because apparently I have mastery in it.
There you go.
Presumably there's a reason for that.
And this is where it gets cool and helps tie the characters together.
Yeah.
You have a bond with one of the other PCs who you recruited to the cause. You get to choose who and what it was that tipped them over the edge into joining the
I'll have to
revolution.
think about this.
Indeed.
Cool.
The Lejean gets, as their bonds, an individual level bond with an NPC member of the congregation, who's sympathetic to you. Name them and say what they're getting out of the relationship.
Okay.
And you have a bond with a PC, who you get to choose, who you helped overcome sickness, injury, or addiction. You get to say who it was and what the problem was.
Okay.
So you play a part in each other's character creation as well.
That's cool, I like it. So I read mine out.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I have 2 individual level NPC bonds, at least one of whom is from the criminal domain. They provide you with access to organisations and districts you're interested in writing about. So I picked crime and high society. So I might have. I was thinking that might be a pet of someone that I know that feeds me information about the circles that they move in. And you have a bond with a fellow PC who you wrote and published a story about, which has to be the Firebrand. Because what did it say? And are they really happy with it?
I'll let you know when I read it.
Yeah.
I like how I have time for that.
I think I've written a story about the Firebrand, that there was, and I assume that my writing is kind of underground
Yes.
and goes to the drow.
Yeah.
So there'll be something about
Pamphlets with lots of exclamation
Exactly,
marks.
You
yeah.
write zines.
yeah. I write a zine, the drow zine.
I start a revolution, but I didn't have enough pamphlets.
Okay, you called it so you abbreviate zine to Z, so it's called the Drowsy.
I like
Oh,
it. Just drows. No, yeah, it's you helped take back a street. You led the charge on taking back a street, and you're. Yeah, I think you are happy with it because it painted you in a good light.
cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So I've got a street level bond with the Order of Midwives, and are an active member. I've got to name my immediate superior, who doesn't know I work for the Ministry, and a colleague who does. That's one, so that's all just with the Order of Midwives. And then I have a bond with another player character whose life you saved when no one else would. Say who and what they've done to ostracise themselves from their community. So I'm going with the occultist.
Oh, okay.
Because they're an occultist.
Yep.
So everyone knew, and that was it. You were going to be cast out and down into whatever the deepest levels of the Spire. But I stood up for you because, you were defenceless at the time. And it's what I do, apparently.
So there's been a couple of mentions thus far of the Ministry. Players are all members of the Ministry. The Ministry of our hidden mistress. The Drow have a triumvirate goddess, and one is our glorious lady, the Moon. In the dark caverns, they worship our hidden mistress, who fills them with strength to resist their oppressors. Now, the worship of our hidden mistress is absolutely illegal, and you would be arrested, if not executed, for being a part of it.
They can try.
Exactly.
Gotta catch you first.
Got to prove
They
it.
did, and that was the problem.
You ain't got nothing on me, copper. Right, you all get 2 core abilities. So, Sam, your firebrand can lead from the front. Mm-hmm. When you have 6 or more stress in shadow, you gain mastery on everything.
Whoa.
Whoa. That's cool.
Because
like-
you work best under pressure.
Okay.
In fairness,
Extreme pressure.
if you've got 6 points of stress on anything, you're in 6 points of stress on shadow, you're in a whole world of trouble at that point. Anyway, that's the revolution could come cascading down around your ears any moment. Acting with mastery under those circumstances is the best way to survive. Mm-hmm. And you can draw a crowd at a moment's notice. Once per session, you can pull together a crowd and people will drop what they're doing and come and see what's going on. You stand on an upturned wagon, you raise your flag. People, we must take to the streets!
Cool. Rabble rousing.
Cool.
Gotcha.
And Leon,
Yes.
you get the right of respite, where you create a place of stillness and healing, where you can cause your allies to remove 3 stress from mind or blood. And you get Moonlight. A gem on your forehead, necklace or bracelet, glows as brightly as the moon and can't be extinguished unless you want it to.
Okay, cool.
You also get to choose a low advance from the selection there.
Oh, everyone.
So, well, you get to choose one from that list because that's the firebrand list.
Okay.
And then Leon will get to choose one from the Lejean list.
A low one.
Yeah.
Cool.
I decided my healing kit is going to be well equipped, but it will be difficult to find what I need.
Loads of stuff just shoved in a bag.
Yeah.
I've got that. So if you're under stress, if you're in pressure, it'll be much harder to use it. But if you've got the time to lay it all out and pull out the bits, you're going to have a beautiful job.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the bond was
I
the
found my low ability already. Sorry, Karen.
was the addiction one, wasn't it, with another PC? So I was thinking, as the inksmith, as a pulverizer, probably got a drinking problem.
Yeah, go on.
Picking on me.
Or a previous drinking problem.
Sure,
Yeah.
that's fine. That's fine. While they look at their low abilities, I get do it for the story, You have a way of getting people to act on their baser impulses. So once per session, an NPC I'm talking to does precisely what they want to do at that moment in time, regardless of social mores, fear, obligations, or politeness. And the other one is nose for trouble. If you can find what's out of place, you can find the story. Once per scene, ask the GM what's weird or out of place here. I quite like that one.
I didn't see that one.
And my eye was instantly drawn to the low advance of a man with a gun. It's a Raymond Chandler thing, isn't it? He wrote, if he ever gets bored or there's the story gets slow, just have a man walk in with a gun. So, when in doubt, have a man come through a door with a gun in his hand. Roll fight an occult to cast this spell. If you succeed, a person with a gun enters the room you're currently standing in. You don't get to say who they are, whose side they're on, or what they want. You can guarantee that someone with a loaded gun will walk into the room as long as there's a reasonable entry point for them to walk through. I think that's it. And it's an occult power, so it just feels.
So I'm going to go with always outnumbered, never outrun. You are exceptional at getting the hell away from your problems. Gain pursue skill. When you flee a superior force, you do so with mastery. I'm also thinking, for my bond, I might pick the midwife, because, get them while they're young. Influence the youth.
Oh, cool.
All yours. Unless I need a medium.
Nope.
Just a low.
Oh, no,
Okay.
you don't get medium.
Just checking.
So do we get 2 low, did you say?
Just one low.
One low.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good, because I run out of space.
I'm going to take Web of the Mistress, which means it's an occult one. Roll fix and occult, which we even have. And basically I get an immediate awareness of everything in the vicinity, an area about the size of a large building, even if I can't see or hear it directly. And this remains in effect till I move. So basically I can find out what's
Spider
going on.
sense.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And what were your basic ones?
The basic ones are Martyr. I can stop someone else. I can let someone ignore fallout by basically taking a hit myself.
Okay.
And I can Protector's Eye. I can ask the GM what an NPC wants to protect most.
Cool. That's cool.
Faintly reminiscent of something from Innomine.
I don't think I've ever played
You've
that
never played it? Oh,
I'm not
B,
there.
you're missing it. There's another one I'll have to do for
one. Okay,
you now.
cool.
Angels and Demons.
Okay, yeah, no, I know what it is, but I've never played it. Okay, cool. So now we've all done our characters.
That might
Yeah.
roll.
Yeah.
It's
We should do a
7
little
low.
go around and just say who's.
Oh,
Who's
exactly.
doing what?
But we've got the most difficult bit for Sam now.
I've got to make names.
They're the impossibly difficult bit.
It's fine, I've done it.
1.
The Spire books have got loads of brilliant ideas for names, and some of them are sort of fairly standard fantasy sounding names, and some of them are sort of almost Native American sounding title things. So I've done a bit of a
Can we run
cheeky,
Right.
and I've pinched some of the names from our Discord channel
Hey.
to create some of the names of the NPCs. So
Brilliant.
if you're one of our Discord followers, keep your ears and eyes peeled and see if you pop in at any point as any one of the characters.
Cool.
Because you might.
Can I call my character Garblag? Don't worry, I'm not good.
Zram.
You know what's always a good way is look through the names of all the kickbackers,
Okay.
all the
Sorry, so
Kickstarter.
there's some names to work from.
No,
There's
well,
just
no.
a big list of
Okay.
play
And there was
testers.
the
and
game
people
was
who backed the
kickstarted,
game.
so all the names of those of us that did it got stuck in the back of the book.
Ah, okay.
As a little
Okay,
thank
so
you.
you can be Ben.
No, that would be terrible. That's a horrible.
Thorben Van Drer. That's my name.
Wow.
After one of the. Yeah, I think that's Thorben Van Drer.
That's a pretty cool name.
Yeah. Okay.
So I rolled for my one. I got build bridges. You sacrifice yourself for your allies, +1 reputation. Before you roll for fallout on a bond, you may mark stress on yourself to remove it from the ally. Each point you mark removes 2 points of stress from them.
Cool. Nice.
Excellent.
So you very much martyr yourself for others.
Yes.
So between the two of you, you can kind of do a lot of healing
Cool.
by taking the
'cause we're gonna
damage
need
onto
it.
yourselves. So when these two idiots go running into trouble, you two can be like, we'll just stand at the back and take all your hits.
This is going to make an amazing story.
Oh, we're going for names. What's your name?
I'm sure no. Well, hang on.
Oh,
we should
what am
go
I doing?
round, starting with Leon, and say,
I haven't written a name.
you haven't written a name.
No.
Should we start this side and go the other way?
There was something about what have we got to...
That would be like really weird. Just a
Native
summary.
American-y or something, you say? Just any name.
I've just realised I am totally storming Area 51. They can't stop us all.
Okay, random page opened and the word harmonious
When's that
jumped out
happening?
at me. So
Oh,
there's
it's not
half
yet.
the name for you.
Oh, it's not yet.
Cool.
Another random page open. Glass. Harmonious glass.
I was going to go with harm class, but yeah, maybe not harm class.
Harmonious trend.
Classonius.
Okay.
Oh well, I opened it here, so
Spell status. No. We're going with Classius.
Okay.
There we go.
Cool. So do you want to give a summary of your character? We'll do summaries of characters, and then I think it's time to do the competition, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yes, okay, so my name's Leon. I'm playing Classius Lejean, who was endurance as a hunter and went around having to provide food for the high elf wankers at the top of the tree. And after many years of that, actually kind of took a bit of a detest to killing innocent animals and really wasn't au fait with that, but was kind of forced to do it. And then getting back to life, became a more priestly type figure to help the congregation and was much more in tune with being very empathic to people's plight and pain and suffering and trying to root that out and make people feel better about themselves.
Cool.
Glug, 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 glug.
So, I'm Sam. I'm going to be playing Nim, the firebrand, who was an agent and had to, run up and down and talk to the boss and then the peasantry.
Which is a great way of making contact.
Yeah, and getting to know people and knowing where stuff is and getting in and out of places and getting lots of contacts. Yeah, and seeing how bad things are and getting them to do something about it.
I'm Thorben Vandrer, PI. I spent years working as an occultist and a researcher for the Elfir bastards, and investigating all these stories and reading all of these ancient texts and all these interesting books led me into a desire to write my own stories, but to find interesting stories. So when I escaped to my durance with the help of a midwife, I took on the role of trying to find all the interesting stories I could.
We've missed a trick, really. We could have called you Magnum P.
Sorry, Pete, what was your character name?
Thorben Vandrer, PI.
Vorben.
Thorben.
Thorben.
So I am Noah Skyshrine. Sky Shrine. Noah Sky Shrine. I should have practiced saying that before. In my head, I wrote it down. And okay.
I let you
Noah Sky Shrine. So I worked as a personal assistant to one of the high elves, but thought it was just so meaningless. I spent years and years of my life meaningless drudgery, pushing paperwork around, booking meetings. It was I wanted something more. I wanted to help. I wanted to protect. So I became a midwife. I can protect the future young of the drow. Yes. And so that seemed like a proper calling for me. So I moved. So once I'd finished my durance, I went and I now do what I can to protect the young, or the really young egg things.
Okay, so last little bit of mechanics for you then.
Sorry.
Any action that requires a roll is you rolling a d10.
Mm-hmm. Good job.
If you have the skill, you roll another d10. If you have the domain, you roll another d10. And if you have mastery in one of them, you roll another d10.
That's
So
4!
That is 4. Great! It's maths! I can't enter maths! 3, 4, they're close.
And the thing is, Ben realised this as he was reading it out, and he was like, "Oh shit!
I'm like,
It's
come
4
on,
dice.
come on."
It's 4 dice. It's 4
The
dice."
good news is you can't have 2 lots of mastery.
Did we say that before we started recording? Ben had said you only need 3
Yes,
dice.
I may have said many times that you only need 3
It's
dice,
fine,
but
it's
it's
all
4. So you could be rolling a maximum of 4 dice. If you roll a 1, it's a critical fail, and you take double stress. If you roll a 2 to a 5, it's just a failure, and you take some stress. If you roll a 6 to a 7, it's success at a cost, which means you get some stress, but at a lower level. And if you get an 8 or a 9, success! And if you get a 10, whatever you do is that much more effective that you add stress to your opponent for doing it. Now, you roll all of the dice that you're able to roll, but only the highest dice counts.
Okay.
So,
Just looking at your highest value, so that...
one of the problems that with lots of D10 games was you roll all the dice and failures take away from successes and things like that. In this, you roll all of your dice. It gives you a greater chance of getting a higher number. You just go with the highest one that you got. So if you're rolling 4 dice and 3 of them are 1s but one of them's a 10, it doesn't matter.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
So there we go. Right, let us then announce the winner of the competition. Let me steal these back off you a moment.
Pretty
For
books.
the pretty books of Spire. No, that's that one.
That's not
Yep.
Stupid reverse cameras. And Strata,
Well done.
which is the sequel to Spire. And they come in a lovely little package there, and they will be sent out to you from us.
We had 21 entries to the competition, so thank you everyone. Well, we had 22, but Ben, you can't enter your own competition.
In fairness, I've already got the books anyway.
True.
I was just going to
Put
do
your name
it.
in
To
it.
show off. To give them to the skirt. Okay. So we had 21 entries, and we have got our special Danish Sphere of Chance. By the way,
can't
you'll
see it,
turn
it's
it twice and it will
behind
come out. You have to
Leon's
lift
name.
it up,
Oh,
There we go.
you can't see it. Oh, there it is.
and if you turn it twice, the ball will come out.
Turn it twice.
So give it a little shake
Okay.
to hear the noise. Go
Let
on.
me pull the tray this one out because I organised all of those ones. I don't want them to be. So.
And you've got... Oh, can you feel the
go.
tension? Can you feel that tension? So 1 to 21, and I'm just going to get my phone out so I can read their comment off,
Okay.
because I've listed the names.
We ready?
Oh, yep.
Yes?
Okay. Oh. And it is.
Keep going. Hooray.
And Sam, what's the number?
Well, I thought he was gonna. It's actually a 9.
So not a 60.
No.
Number 9 is
Thank goodness it's
Dumpstat Int. Well done, Dumpstat Int.
Nice.
You have won our prize. And
I like it.
let's have a look. It's got to be the Carrion Priest. I mean, the name alone would do it. But the hyena, that's its
Yes.
soul.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Well done, Dumpstat Int.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yep, you have won those. They may have some slight... We're going to use them in this game. So hopefully there won't be any wine or coke spilt on them. But, you know, then they've been handled by the Garblag Games
Yeah.
crew. So that means they're extra
more.
special.
And a massive thank you to Rowan, Rook and Decard, especially to Grant and Chris, who have been absolutely top-notch in communicating with me and Pete and getting this stuff out to us and sorting stuff out. Really generous of them. They have done a bang-up job with this game, and you should really check them out. They have a Discord as well. It's far too busy for me to keep up with, but I do try.
They do. And we were on there briefly the other day, weren't we, talking about this? Yeah. Cool. You right there, Leon?
No. I can't get them back in. They
Okay.
did go earlier. It's
So,
a good fit.
you know-
There it is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. See, I persuaded others.
See, all that
Okay.
took was 3 fully grown adults.
So, Dumpstat Int, we will get in contact with you and we will get those sent out to you ASAP. Well done.
Cool stuff. Right,
Very good.
let's have that a sec.
Oh, yeah.
The other book. You may have a biscuit.
No, you can't put it on record. Now his wife knows he's eating biscuits.
Oh, I love ginger with chocolate.
Oh, now I do want one. Like eating like
Simon was like,
Okay. So, on to the game then. This story is set in the region of Spire known as Pilgrims Walk, where the gods all sit 10 deep and 5 high. Pilgrims Walk is open to all who make it inside the city, past greedy customs officers and hungry bandits. It offers a welcoming embrace to those of all faiths, then immediately tries to take them for everything they've got. Twisting, leaking, dripping passages house 1,000 tiny temples and 50,000 poor people wedged into the tiny living spaces between them. The corridors are far from the exterior wall and any natural light. They're kept dark aside from the glow of altar candles and sputtering spire black braziers carried around by hired torch boys, their arms and faces scarred from a short lifetime of burns. Such beautiful prose as well. In the darkness, workshops and poorhouses turn out low-quality goods, paying their workers little more than a starvation diet and offering them a patch of floor to sleep on. Wallets, clothing, devotional charms, holy water and images of saints flow out of Pilgrims Walk and into Spire, along with reams of sacred texts and evangelical pamphlets on tissue-thin paper that spread the word of their gods far and wide. And far away from the lights of the main street, deep in the wet and shadowed heart of Pilgrims Row, cults and opportunists strike out at the humans that live there beside the drows, stealing their blood, their organs, their bodies, and selling them back to the highest bidder, or consuming them in black rituals too old and all but forgotten gods.
These humans need to die.
This is cheerful.
So that's where we're set. It's a dangerously unstable location. There are so many temples to so many gods in Pilgrim's Walk that the whole place is a powder keg ready to explode at the best of times. However, it is not the best of times. It is the worst of times. There has been water shortages and increasing temperatures in Pilgrim's Walk of late. Numbers are not good. Young and the old are suffering the most. People are dying while temples make holy water that they won't let people drink because it's now sanctified. It's hot, it's very hot, but people are still lighting candles and fires and braziers. And the ministry suspects something is going on in Pilgrim's Walk. They want you to go in and find out if there is something happening in Pilgrim's Walk to make it hot, to make it so that the young and the old particularly die out. What's happening in Pilgrim's Walk? This is going to be complicated by the fact that a maniacal icon has been travelling round Pilgrim's Walk with a circus of freaks and oddities culled from the ranks of young, disabled and injured drow, seeking to put on morality plays to teach the drow their proper place in society under the booted heel of their Elfir overlords. The final nail in the coffin that demands action from the ministry is the presence of a spring-heeled serial killer going around slicing up people and taking out their organs in the back alleys and streets. He seems unaffiliated with any of the temples and cults, and there appears to be no sign of occultism at the corpses that this person leaves, but he always manages to escape any who track him down.
That sounds like a good story.
That does sound like a good story.
I'm going after the spring-heeled killer.
So your interest is in the spring-heeled
To
killer?
begin with, I think, yep.
I think more who is there a cause to the excess heat? That's what's killing people, that's what's hurting them. So we need to see if there is a particular temples are pushing this for some reason.
This icon's singing the wrong song.
Sorry, Leon, what's your motivation?
I'm concerned for the many people in the different congregations, so the heat is of concern to Lejean. However, I don't like the idea of someone preying so maliciously and malevolently on the populace as well.
So there's a lot going on, and it's a very busy, very crowded area. As a cell, you are asked by your immediate superior, who has never told you their name, and meets you with a light shining behind them.
Nice.
So you never see their face either. They always begin by saying, "The Ministry wishes," and then delivering to you their ultimatum. And the Ministry wishes you to investigate the situation in Pilgrims Walk. Choose what means you deem necessary to resolve the situation. Try to improve things for the people there.
Maybe we should check out this heat issue first then. If it's... We need to make things better for the people and then track down this killer, I think. The less attention you give to these icons, the better.
I'd quite like to hire him. Not the icon. The murderer.
I'd like to interview him.
Why do you want to hire the murderer?
He's obviously got a good set of skills.
If you can control them.
It's not about control. It's about pointing things in the right direction. That icon, not doing the right direction.
I think we all agree on that, obviously.
Anyone can hide in the dark and prey on innocents.
He's killing innocents. That's not.
I don't know. I get
We
bored.
should be protecting them, not facilitating.
But what's his motivation? That's...
Let's find out.
No, you are right. We should discover the source of this overheating first.
Let's make around. So while we're there, we can keep our eyes open for that. Investigate
well,
the heat, and then keep our eyes
At
open
all
for
times.
for
Eyes and
serial killer.
ears.
If
And your nose occasionally can be very informative. That's how I
Especially
tracked
down.
you down and wrote that story about you.
It's been a long day.
Day.
Week.
there's not much water, okay?
Check my guns.
I know where there is some.
Where's the water?
Well, all the temples have some.
It's true. They don't seem to be running out of.
Well, I say all the temples. I mean, there's hundreds of them, so probably not all of them. Some of them are a bit lower down.
Well, is there?
Might be interesting to find out which ones are getting
How's
water.
heating? Well, I mean, we're in a tower, so we have no control or knowledge of that. I suppose what the heating.
Yeah, Pilgrims Walk is inside the tower and away from the walls, so you don't have any of the effect of light or heat loss from the outside. So any heat exchange that's going on inside is happening inside the tower.
Okay.
So it's ventilation, it's movement of air from other floors, it's things like that.
Pipes, cold pipes.
How far away from the walls?
Quite far. This is one of the
Far
problems
enough.
with the Spire.
You're not sure.
Is that people have endeavoured to measure it many, many times. The same team once managed to measure it as a mile high on the inside and 5 miles high on the outside.
Well, someone wasn't adding up right.
Some Vermisian stuff going on there.
The Spire
Sorry, just
is as tall as it is. It's not even twice the length from the middle sometimes.
Alright.
From a character knowledge point of view, all the other kind of classes of in here, we know about all of them. Nothing's kind of secret.
Yeah, no, none of the
Internally.
classes are
Okay.
super secretive, no.
Yeah. Okay. Right, should we go and check out these temples then to see where they're getting their water from and why?
Well, let's see why. Is there one area that's hotter than others? I mean, heat spreads, doesn't it? If it's something's heating.
Where was the last murder?
Is there a big fire?
Do we know?
And there is not a big fire. There are lots and lots of small fires.
But they're always
the only
not, aren't
source of light is lanterns
Yeah.
and braziers. So you've
And
got
him.
you've got a lot of these poor kids carrying around braziers and lanterns to keep light going, torch boys.
But-
But that's
their
always
arms.
the way case, isn't it? So
Yes.
that's nothing new.
And it's
Something
unlikely
new.
that a few torch boys could cause a heat wave.
Maybe something's blocked. Yeah, it's just not coming through. Maybe the corpses went in the pipe. No, from the murderer. Maybe he's hiding. No, he's not hiding them.
Well, the
because-
cooling tunnels, ducts, pipes, whatever they are. I don't know. I'm not an engineer, but surely that's a. Maybe they're not working properly. Should we head out into Pilgrims Walk and?
How big is Pilgrims Walk? If we want to walk
Huge.
from one side to the other, is that like
quite
an hour
big.
a day or?
It's a large district. You're probably able to cross it in a day or so,
Okay,
providing you don't get murdered in the process.
sure.
It's called walk because that's generally about as fast as anyone goes.
lots of tiny, narrow, zigzaggy
in.
streets crammed in.
So walking around the whole thing going, does it feel a bit hotter here, isn't really a viable way of doing this.
Well, when you walk into Pilgrims Walk, it's like changing season suddenly.
Okay.
The main gates from outside of the city come in through Pilgrims Walk, come in eventually to Pilgrims Walk after going through a couple of other districts. This is where a lot of people get fleeced on their way into the Spire. But it's quite low down the Spire and is completely enclosed.
Okay.
I don't know if Riss has been hiding shit in the pipes again. I should check with him.
It's hot in here, isn't it?
Well, let's get moving.
Remarkably so.
I don't think it's in here.
Ordinarily,
Noticed.
in Pilgrims Walk, you would expect to hear an occasional sort of drip, drip from leaky pipes, but there's a lot more sort of hissing from steam bursting out rather than
Dangerous.
dripping water. So instead of puddles of stagnant cold water, you've got sort of puddles of
slick.
exhausted people
Okay.
Just gonna.
just kind of
Step over that.
flopping on the street. Even a lot of the religious vendors who are trying to sell things to people are a lot more lackluster, although the guy selling religious paraphernalia parasols isn't doing too bad a job. He seems to be doing a roaring trade.
I would suggest we walk and talk.
Yes.
Talk to people, find out their views, what's changed, whether they notice anything strange going on. We can't necessarily cover everything, but maybe someone's seen something.
Absolutely. Can I investigate the heating problem in the area with the low society?
Well,
You don't need to do rolls and stuff. It's
Yep.
almost entirely
So
narrative.
so-
So just say
So
what
I'm
it
going to
is
ask
you want
around,
to do.
again, ask around and see if there seems to be a consensus of what general problem seems to be going on with it. Something to do with
You have
heating,
low
cooling.
society.
I have low society and I have investigate.
Okay, so asking around is very, very easy for you to come up with 1,000,001 different reasons for what's
Okay.
going on. A lot of the most sensible rumours, once you whittle out the "it's them damn Yetis living on the outside" kind of lunatics, a lot of people put it down to a war between two major landlords who own a lot of the properties down here,
Right.
trying to get this continuous one-upmanship on each other and squeeze as much out of their tenants as they possibly can. Ashtor and Quinn. Ashtor is dead and therefore probably wouldn't care that much about the heat, and Quinn is a drow, both of whom...
So when you say Astra is dead, you mean like undead?
Yeah, he got better.
Oh!
He's dead, but he got better.
Yeah, okay, cool. That's a thing in this.
And the two of them have carved up most of Pilgrims Walk
Okay.
to make their fortune, and both of them are fabulously wealthy.
Quinn's a drow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Collaborator.
Yeah, and Astra's a dead drow or a dead something
Ashtor is
else?
a dead, an undying Elfir.
Ugh. The worst
Property
kind.
owner.
Fucking hell. Oh my god. And does it seem that one or the other's property is suffering from overheating and lack of
Neither seem
water?
to be suffering
They're
more
just
than the other.
putting the squeeze on each other?
They're either putting the squeeze on each other or they're both putting the squeeze on their tenants. That's
Or
one of the
someone
things
above
that's
them is
suggested.
screwing them both over.
Yeah. Another thing that people are saying is that because of the increased security around the gates due to this serial killer,
Yeah.
gates that would normally be open are being closed, which is trapping the heat. The temples won't.
So it is the killer!
The temples won't cut down on the amount of oils and incense that they're burning because that would be an affront to the gods.
Of course.
They would if they didn't have any.
Nothing gets rid of oil quite like a massive explosion.
there's ways to cool the area down. Though. It might be failing
Can
somewhat.
we blow a hole in the wall that leads to the outside?
Oh, that was
and
plan
the
A,
Yetis,
but, you know,
and the
apparently
Yetis
that's
and the-
We've
miles
already
away.
told it's a long way away. So
That's true. That's true.
Also, sunlight
Big
burns drought.
Oh yes, good point. Good point. Yeah, we don't want
Yeah,
that.
but there'd be an enormous plume of smoke. There'd be plenty of time to get out. Like, of the direct.
Get all the
It'd be fine.
parasols.
Time to get
Make a screen.
Get the undead Alfear guy, string him up. He'll be block a little bit.
I'm taking some
you're
quotes
saying-
from some of these people, by the way, to go into a later story, a piece about this whole investigation.
So you're saying that the water normally drips from the pipes,
Yes.
and now it's not. They're more like steam coming from the pipes. So is it actually that they're...
Fewer of the pipes are leaking. There appears to be a lot less water in the pipes. A lot of the water in Pilgrims Walk isn't exactly piped in for the use of the people. It's more sort of stolen from pipes that are going elsewhere
Yep.
and siphoned off for the use of the people here.
Okay.
Whereas those pipes are a lot less accessible now and higher up. The pipes that people can't get to as easily.
I mean, water's only ever really borrowed anyway, right?
Ew.
You're not wrong, but it's a really long-term transition.
It's an investment.
Yeah.
So, all these temples of all these gods, all these 1,000,001 different nut jobs, how many of them really like fire? Or
God.
heat? Or no, because they might want it hot. So they might be doing a thing to make it more hot to please their,
I think it's more likely that there's some rich fucker who's squeezing people.
Well, if you look at the fire gods, the volcano gods, the forge gods, the sun gods,
they'd all probably like it quite warm.
they would all certainly like it warm. But then equally the night gods and the frost gods
Don't.
and the ice gods have got the same sort of levels of power and fellowship.
Do these Ashton and Quinn, do they have like representatives that,
Oh, they'll have an agent.
or like agents who work out down and around here that we could possibly
Or 12.
find and beat up a bit? Kind of the rough PI who likes to like quiz people up against the wall.
But how
kind of
the
thing.
landlords make money by being hotter? I don't see how that
Because
particularly...
they're paying less to keep stuff? I don't know.
Maybe it's
Is
the
it more
cost of
expensive
water.
to
Water
make?
more expensive?
Well, exactly. So who's selling water? Landlords aren't selling water. Landlords are selling property, and that's
But rents and rates and things. I don't know. Maybe they.
I think we need to find who sells water. I mean, how do people get their water? Is it all just stolen from pipes and no one pays ever, or is there actually some sort of
There are gangs and groups that monopolise the supply of the water.
So it's more likely to be them then, isn't it? So, if they can now sell water for more money.
I mean, in this
Isn't that good for
area,
them?
you're probably
True.
looking for some people.
Thank you.
It's very true.
Yeah.
Insert GM here.
She's a crime master, so she knows.
Maybe.
That is very true. The Water Boys are actually one of the main gangs.
Oh, but they're really religious.
It's true, they are quite religious.
And that stopped them from.
You can go and talk to them and find out.
Yeah.
Let's go and talk to them.
I think
Yeah.
chase who's profiting. That makes sense.
Yes.
All right. I
Follow
think
the money.
They're down that way.
Note of that.
Okay. Follow down that way.
It's got a big kind of quill that's like.
So you head on down into Water Boys turf. Still very dry down here as well.
Business is bad.
The bar where they usually hang out, well, bar/bathhouse, where the Water Boys usually base themselves.
It's a pool bar.
Cool.
Yeah.
Why not?
Not today.
Not today.
It's not a pool bar today, no. There are a couple of younger members of the gang literally bucketing water out of the pools that people would usually lounge around in and pouring it into bottles for sale. You've got armed
Told you.
guards standing around outside the bar and inside the bar, keeping an eye on everything.
Sounds like time for a man with a gun. No.
Very, very few gang members seem to be present at the minute. There are sort of low-level thugs keeping an eye on these kids to make sure they don't steal any water. But it's very much the bottom end of the gang who are here.
Where is everyone?
They're out trying to track down fresh sources. We're running out. We're tapped.
Yeah. Yeah, so's everyone.
You say that as if you don't know why this is all going on.
Our pipe's just dried up, like all the others. We had a prime source.
Which was?
Don't tell him that. This kid gets cuffed around the back of the head by one of the guards.
I'm going to use do it for the story. And that guy wants to tell us what's going on. Does he want to tell us what's going on?
He kind of does.
Kind of does. I think I need to roll. I think this is like an actual.
He just really wants to roll.
I want to use the one. Once per session, an NPC you're talking to does precisely what they want to do at the moment in time, regardless of social mores, fear, obligations, or politeness. So if he wants to tell us, he's going to tell us. I mean, this is going to make a great story. You're going to be in the article and everything.
You can't tell me what to do. My cousin's bigger up in this gang than you are. You're not anyone important. I can tell him what I want. We got a pipe. We got a bloody good pipe. Only it's gone. It's dried up. There's nothing in it. We got out what we could. Filled up all the baths. Filled up all of the pools. They're running out too. There's nothing left. This is it.
Where's that pipe come from?
Oh, it's out the back. That's why this place is here. It's a cover for the pipe.
What do you?
Where it comes from, I don't know.
How big is it?
Not that big.
Right.
I haven't been up it.
Do you want to go up it?
No, it's dark and it smells.
But do you know where it leads?
Goes up.
Goes up. Okay.
You have no idea what's happened to the water source.
Nobody does. It's weird.
I'm less bothered about where it goes as to where it comes from.
Yeah, but where that pipe goes is where the water comes from.
That's not how.
Because the
What?
water's coming down from upstairs to here.
But that's not where it goes.
No, it's in the pipe. As
Yeah,
in,
no.
yes.
Pipe goes in two ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're good.
Depends.
We're good.
Yeah.
English is your.
Welcome to Spire. Today we'll be talking about plumbing.
And landlords.
Yes. Okay.
So actually, do we need to actually be looking to
Maybe there's a leak.
go and look at what's above Pilgrims Walk?
Well, can we go and see this pipe?
Do you know how they find leaks in pipes?
How?
Smoke. You put smoke down a pipe, it comes out the holes.
Well, we need to go and see this pipe then, and you stick a fire in it. We'll close it up this end, and where the smoke comes out, we can track it up the pipe.
I mean, a leak does make sense. If the water's used for cooling and the water's gone, then that would be the reduction in the cooling.
Yeah,
So
maybe
it
it's just the stop of water stops. Yeah, the.
I'm going to go out back. Take me out back then. Show me this pipe.
This guy's looking really unhappy about this, but he's right. He can't knock this kid around too much. So he comes with you
All right.
as well. Not happy about
So if we get this sorted,
Hey.
you guys will be back in.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll put a good
We want
word
the
in
water
for you.
working.
You know.
This is good. This helps everyone if the water works.
Have you heard about that circus?
Yeah, it's funny.
Is it?
Oh yeah. You
Seen
should
it?
see him.
Yeah?
Bloody mutants, weirdos, freaks.
Where are they?
They move around. I saw them the other day. Over that way.
Alright, cool.
And I saw them over that way as well.
Oh, good.
So, yeah, you go
So
all
good
over the
enough for
place.
twice.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah.
Well, you know, I mean, your ringmaster bloke, he does lay it on a bit thick. But, you know, you slip someone a couple of extra sten and you can, you know, occasionally get a bit of a poke at one of them.
Okay.
I'll bear that in mind. Cheers.
The handlers and the guards, they're all right. But the ringmaster's a bit pompous, up himself.
Yeah, the ones in charge usually are.
Too
Right,
right.
that right. Anyway, is why am I showing you the pipe? Bloody kid gone. Bloody kid.
He slacked off for a smoker.
Just because his cousin's some big knob in the gang. Anyway, here's your pipe. Stick your smoke in that and pipe it.
Not the pipe.
Dong dong dong.
It's a pipe.
Well done.
Thanks.
The level of education amongst the Jean is astounding. Go on then. What is it like? Does it go off, like go into a wall? And we can't see where it goes, or is it like along a ceiling? Or...
No, it's wall,
Yep.
pipe,
Yep.
outlet.
Yep.
Where it wasn't an outlet originally, it did
They've kind
go
of-
down, and
yeah.
they've added an outlet
Okay, cool.
into it. You can see where they've bodged in like their own faucet.
Not a bad job, that.
Oh well, you know, plenty of time.
Yeah.
But it's not just us either.
Oh no, of course not.
All the water gangs.
All the water gangs
And all the pipes go upstairs.
eventually.
Yeah, well, of
Well,
course, yeah.
there's some that go outside
Well, yeah.
for catching rainfall and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think
Ye-
some of them
Yeti
are still
pits.
working.
Don't drink that.
I don't believe in the bloody Yetis, do you?
Well, that guy outside was talking about him.
No, he's mad.
Look, we'll pull a pamphlet out.
Don't listen to that matter.
If they were real, they'd totally have one in that circus.
No, it's not that kind of circus.
Yeah, why not?
They're all drow.
Yeah. But if someone had a
half
Yeti,
drow, half
you'd want to
Yeti.
show it off, wouldn't you?
Suppose, yeah.
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 See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Anyway, are you done
They
with
got
this
any
pipe?
acrobats?
Are you not going to bugger off so I don't get in any trouble?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Thanks for the tip.
It's alright.
So whatever supplies the pipes stop working then?
Yeah. Someone's turned it off. People upstairs, the elf here, bastards.
Yeah.
Putting a
Probably.
squeeze on Pilgrims Walk. But I think it might be these property people. They live upstairs. Somewhere.
But they're not the ones selling the water, so why would they care? I mean, maybe.
Maybe they're taking
bad enough.
control of the water. They don't want the water gangs to do it anymore. They want to then go, oh, look, we've found another supply of water. Now we can give it to you.
So yes, they're the only seller of it. That makes sense.
Maybe. Don't know. I think we should...
What's above this? If all the water comes from above, the pipes from above, then should we really be going? We can't climb to the ceiling of this enormous thing, so should we be going to the
I
floor
mean,
above?
technically
Can we even
you
go to the floor
could.
above? How does it work?
Yes, I mean, above Pilgrim's Walk, you've got the mezzanine and the works, which are sort of manufactured. The works is all your manufactories, turbines. Some of the papers work up there
I'll be up there one day.
one day. And the mezzanine has got sort of technical education places where they make guns and complicated stuff like that.
Cool.
So the floor above is going to be very hot as well.
And it's not just like floor, is it? It's like...
No, it's
Massive.
floors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Detective agency, they kicked me out.
I mean, should we just try to follow what supplies the pipes? It's a different floor that it's all coming through. That's been turned off in the mezzanine or somewhere.
I think
Turn off there, then nothing we look around down here is going to turn it back on. We need to be looking in the mezzanine. Have they got all that water? Have they filling a giant pool so none of it comes down here? I don't know.
Or just pouring it out
Yeah.
somewhere outside of the tower just for their macabre fun, for denying the drow the water.
It's mostly drow upstairs as well. I mean, the elf here don't even get involved
Oh, they're
until
all
you're
the way
right
up.
up near the top.
Okay, cool.
other people have vested interest in this coming out. So the Water Boys have lost out. They've obviously trying to look into it themselves. They can't find it. These Quins and the other one, even if they're not behind it, they probably have an interest in knowing what's going on. So even if we just go and talk to them, they might be able to help us out with what they've already found.
There might be some of their
Or they're
representatives
responsible.
or agents.
And we beat it out of them.
Yeah,
But if
I
we
like
find
that
some
one.
of their agents, we can get to them.
Yeah.
Alright.
And then we go upstairs if that comes with nothing.
Okay.
Yeah? Cool.
Sounds good. Let's go.
Okay. How do we find their representatives?
With
Walk and talk again.
investigate and low society, we're going to go back out into Pilgrims Walk and we're going to look around for agents who maybe, because you said they're the landlords of this, a lot of this
They
area.
must have an organised-
They must have people who are coming out and they're talking to people, or some people.
Bailiffs,
summon,
things
yeah,
like that.
things
To
like
go
that.
around
Collecting money, I
and
suppose.
collect the rents.
Yeah.
Well, as an agent, you don't get a lot of time off. But sometimes stuff does take longer than you thought it would.
Yeah.
And when it does,
Take longer than you thought it would.
some people end up down at that bar, down...
Yeah, that time I had to get keys cut for a place I worked for and it took 3 hours.
See? Happens.
It's one of those old machines, it just takes longer.
And sadly, it did take 3 hours.
So, yeah, well, we can check that.
Sure.
Right, so the nicest bar in the whole of Pilgrims Walk is called the Bishop's Finger. And I shan't tell you which finger it is. I'll leave that to
We
your
know which
imagination.
This is Pinky. He picks up his glass like this.
Bless your little heart.
Oh.
Yes, sure. Why not? There's a sign outside which is currently being rubbed down by a little drow boy of a bishop's hand with his little pinky finger.
Yay!
holding a glass
I helped.
like so. Here we go. And this is where the better off people in Pilgrims Walk tend
So
to
it's
come
still
and
a
get-
shithole.
It's still a shithole. Yeah. I mean, this is not a nice bar. In terms of the grand scheme of things, but for this area, it's the nicest bar. The straw on the floor is probably only a couple of weeks old.
Oh, nice.
There'll be less than one dead rat per barrel. You know,
It's the dead rats I like.
proper upmarket stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, you can, while you're waiting for your next drink, you can have a go too. Okay.
And there are 4 guards stood outside here looking decidedly uncomfortable as well. A small crowd of people have gathered outside and are shouting.
Ooh.
And there are placards. It's not feel right out.
Hey!
Placards? What are they protesting?
They're protesting
Everything.
rent and rent control and water shortages.
Yep. Sure.
You know, there are professional protesters there as well with something down with this sort of thing. Those kinds of guys. People that turn up to every protest, regardless of what it's for, just to get their own little
What would
agenda
their
in.
mother do?
Are
Yeah.
they obviously protesting to a certain person or
No, they're
building,
just
or is this
protesting
just
at
they
the
protesting
building
Yeah.
because they know that's where the
These
sort of
people hang
bailiffs
out.
live.
Okay, right.
Not live, but
Yeah.
drink on their off hours. They wouldn't want
Okay.
to live in this area because they'd get stabbed.
Yeah. By that dude.
Or
Cool.
someone else.
Or someone else, yeah.
Gonna slowly go through the crowd and raise a fist down then to blend in more with the people. Like, just to...
Could I just get a
When we're
few words
through.
about what you're protesting here today? And I'll take down a few notes.
And
And
yeah,
interesting
there's a
characters.
menu
yeah.
of things that are being
Sure.
protested.
Yeah.
The general tone is that they are protesting these bailiffs still expecting rent when they're not getting water to their places of residence.
Okay. Sounds like we need to go in and sort this out.
Well, it doesn't seem to be getting these guys any more money, so yeah, I suspect it's not them, but let's go and have a word with the bailiffs.
But
See what they say.
you guys are certainly looking a little more upmarket than the rest of the rabble down. Well, you two certainly are.
Yeah. I was going to say not.
Yeah.
These are my
I was
people!
going to say not.
You not so much. But you're clearly with them. So no trouble, yeah.
I'm a religious representative.
I've got a thought. We'll see how it goes. I might solve your problem for you.
They sort of look you all up and down for weapons on your way in, but everything you've got is concealable, isn't it?
No, I've got a grappler pistol, which is like a kick-ass pistol on my side.
What's the iron for?
Protection.
I'll
Don't
leave
need to worry about
I'll leave
me.
mine with
I'm here
you.
to write a story.
I'll leave mine with you if it makes you feel better.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I'll have it back on the way out.
Yeah, you don't want a receipt or anything.
Nah, it's alright, I trust you.
Good, I can't write.
I don't trust him.
Just give
Does
me
he
a
want my
nervous
gun, or
guy
can
with
I
a
throw
gun.
him with my gun?
No, you're a writer, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm here to
you've
write.
got, like,
I'm a
permits
writer.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Go on then.
Is that not what he said?
Graffiti doesn't count.
No, rioter. Obviously, that's what I said. I'll be back.
If he writes a good story about it, that would make you a paperbacked rioter.
Oh. I've already done a good story about you.
Wow, better start a new one.
Yep.
Have a whole series.
Okay.
This time next year.
Let's go in.
Right, so you make your way into the bar. Inside it is much quieter. Low ceiling, very few patrons. But the patrons that are there are more than happy to push Sten across the bar in exchange for halfway decent beer. There's two very distinct groups at the bar at different ends. They occasionally glower at one another.
Oh, it's okay. So it's Ashtor and Quinn collectors been looking at each other.
The two are notorious rivals and cannot abide one another. There's sort of a professional rivalry
Sparks
between
good
the
fun.
two two sets of bailiffs.
Pretty much gagged.
Quite often in here they can get on just fine.
Yeah.
If they saw each other out in the streets, they'd be
It's
stare
stabbing
pushing
time.
and
Okay.
stabbing time. And oh look, you haven't collected any rent this month.
Which half of the room do you two want to talk to? You take one side, we'll take the other.
Alright, dibs.
Right, you've gone that way.
Right, so you guys go to the
we're
back
gonna
of the
go-
room and talk to the bunch that are
Split the
drinking over there.
party. Sorry, Ben.
That's right, you're splitting the party in the
Before
same
we split the
room.
party, I've changed my mind. Would I better have a little bit of wine
Let's have girls.
just to help me? Ooh.
And I'll try and not get any on the book that we're giving away.
No, you're good.
My pint glass with wine in it.
Right.
A pint of wine. There you go.
Sorry,
Bishop's
classy.
finger.
Oh, that's nice.
Who are you lot collecting for then?
What? Come off it, son. Oh, sorry, Your Reverence. We collect for Mr. Quinn.
How's it going?
Not well.
Really, really badly.
You get in and out of the bar okay?
Barely.
Yeah, right.
No one's paying up. No one will give us the cash. I'll go back to Mr. Quinn and tell him I can't get any money out of people, and that's not going to go down well.
This one had to disguise herself just to get through the crowd.
Oh, you're collecting as well?
Not for your lot, but yeah.
You're not with Ashton, so are you? Oh, well, one of the little people. Fair enough. Yeah, no one will pay up.
You heard anything about water missing?
Yeah.
Rising heats? What's
Yeah,
that?
the whole water shortage thing is a massive problem. Mr. Quinn's furious. He's well pissed off. It's cutting into his profits, it's eating into his rents. He's having to pay guards for me, for the lads. He's having to pay guards on storehouses. I'm having to go knocking on doors with, big ugly blokes with swords just to get anything done.
Grim.
It's taken a lot of persuasion to get people to part with their stem when they haven't got, well, I'd say a pot to piss in. They've got the pots, they just haven't got any piss. I reckon it's Ashton.
Yeah.
If he can squeeze us out,
Going for a price war type thing.
yeah, exactly. Drive the prices down, pinch our property. I think he reckons if his people are healthier than our people, they'll last longer. You know what they're like.
Good theory, yeah.
See, I thought that was probably the case, which is why I came to check out you lot. But actually, it seems to be pretty much the same all over. So I don't know if it's upstairs.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me either. You know what they're like upstairs.
Yeah.
May the Lady of Light bless them all.
Yeah. Obviously.
Bow my head reference.
Meanwhile, at the front of the bar,
There's a man with a gun walks in.
save it.
Yeah, don't worry.
It would have been you, but you had to give it up. Oh no, you did.
There's two men.
Oh, that'd be awful. If you use man with a gun now, I'll just have the guard come in and go, do you want your gun back?
Right. I'll nod with my, do the old chin rise to one of them. Do they look particularly aggressive or physically imposing, or are these just
Dour.
like...
I'm going to roll these dice for no reason. Oh, those are big numbers. One of them says, you again? They've got no comment for you.
Oh, come on.
No,
There's a story here and you know it.
You made me look
You want
like
to be
an
part of it.
absolute shitheel last time.
Well, this is a perfect opportunity to get your name down, get the right words in, and turn your reputation around. Come on.
No, don't talk to him, lads. He'll just give you a bad name and cause trouble. He wrote a thing on low-rise rents the other day and price markups and crap like that.
Well, if you fuck around with the prices, the people got to know.
I'm not fucking around with anything. I'm just doing my job, mate.
We're all doing our job. I'm just doing my job, you're just doing your job.
Well, I can't do my job, can I? No bloody water.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Where's the water gone?
Well, it's Quinn, isn't it?
It's not.
Right.
That's what I
They
told
think
you,
it's
Queen's
you.
Oh, right, okay.
It's a price war. He reckons that if he can shut off the water to our district, then our people will die, our rents will go down, he can move in, buy up the properties cheap, corner the market. But Ashton's not that stupid. He's been around for long enough to know better than that.
Of course he has his...
Oh, look,
He's one of them.
Quinn's controlling the water. That's it. He's going to be selling the water soon. I thought that was it. He'll be selling the water and drive Ashton out. That's what I thought it was.
Well, why
Am I wrong?
Isn't that what the... Hang on, let me just check my notes.
Hang on, why isn't he selling the water then?
Why he's making everyone desperate? Rise the price up.
Oh, yeah,
man.
that makes sense.
Then he's going
Supply
to
and
sell it
demand.
and drive Ashton out. That's what I heard. But maybe, I don't know. It's just what,
Yeah.
just what
bastard.
people said.
He's even a drought, you know. Good people like you and me. Or he should be good people like you and me.
It's all profit for them, isn't it? They don't care.
Meanwhile, none of it's trickling down.
Well, apart from some places that obviously Quinn's got control of, but, you know.
Would you know? Come on.
Nothing. That's bull.
Shut up.
You're on the other
Trying to
side of the
start
room.
Yeah.
Trying to light a spark. Well, I mean, you guys are looking after your supply in warehouses, aren't you?
Oh, we're trying to, but there
well,
isn't anything.
Well, they've got... Their warehouses have got a lot in.
You lot stealing all the water? Yeah, that's what you want us to believe. You lot are nicking it all.
Yeah, I've got 12 gallons in my pocket.
Anyway, I think we should...
Yeah.
I'm just writing down a few things. A few notes. Right, well...
I reckon it's upstairs.
Buggered if I know.
They're playing us all for mugs.
Good luck, and I hope you get out of here all right. That crowd outside didn't look particularly
Oh,
pleased.
they're not happy. Mr. Astor's not happy at the extra cost on guards either.
Do you know how to get out of that?
What?
Are you getting behind you instead of in front of you?
Well, the guards. What use are they going to be behind me if someone hits me in the face?
No, that look.
Get them to support you.
Well, how'd you do that?
Well, because
They hate us.
it's them. Give them someone else to hate.
He works for one of them.
But we collect their rent.
Don't have to.
They probably hate us more than they hate them.
Yeah, because they've never seen them. They've only seen you. You really need to help us figure this out. Otherwise, you guys...
Put this man in a right conundrum. Concentration on his face is almost painful to behold.
They have no idea of who Ashta really is.
No, I suppose
But they know
not, do
you.
We could tell him.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter, because there's some undead elfid guy.
It helps
up
because
on a
if we need to get upstairs to sort it out, and we've got a bunch of people helping, then we'll get a bit more of a shift on. We'll take everyone upstairs. We'll have a party. It'll be great.
Listen. This isn't like that last time, okay? not yet anyway.
Exactly.
Hang on. Hold fire.
Jean Valjean.
I mean, at this stage, I'm starting to think it's Yetis.
You're right. Right.
Well, it seems to be a better theory than it being Quinn or Ashton. So yeah. Let's go with Yetis as the next.
Okay.
What if
When
it's
we
code?
asked around, we got two ideas. One of them was obviously all them, so it must be Yetis.
You heard about their murders?
Yeah, pretty gory.
They haven't had any of yours, have they?
Oh, I knew someone.
Well, lots of people know lots of people.
Yeah, but I knew someone who got murdered.
By the murderer,
Yeah.
not just, you know.
No. I mean, this guy's specific. He takes, like, organs.
Yeah.
Kidneys he had out of her.
Hmm.
Both of them?
Yeah.
But nothing else, just the kidneys.
Well, obviously chopped her up and took out the kidneys.
I reckon.
There's nothing and from all the reports I've heard from like PI world, you said there's no like occultism to the removal.
No, it's
It may go off somewhere for an occult thing, but it's just like a very surgical thing.
Yeah, it's definitely more of a surgical thing. Something that you'd be more familiar with than the occult. You'd be more familiar as a fix than as an occult. It's certainly more surgical and less supernatural.
Okay.
I reckon they've got a gourmand. That's what they're called, you know. They have like funny tastes and they eat weird stuff. Send someone down. Oh yeah, I fancy some kidneys. Go and get me some fresh ones. That's what it is. It's upstairs. Definitely.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Did your friend do anything particular?
Oh, you don't have to. You just have to look like not as broken
Look
as
like
that
you've got
lot.
good kidneys.
Yeah.
Did they look like they had good kidneys?
Yeah, I've never seen anybody's kidneys. At least
You want
it
to
all
keep it.
hurts.
You want to keep it that way.
But a very clear urine.
Is it always kidneys to take or different bits?
No, I think it's different bits every time.
Water.
No, it's different bits every time.
different bits
Are
every
they
time?
building a new person?
Nah.
That'd be kind of creepy, wouldn't it?
Is there
I suppose
anything?
they could.
Although the murder,
Why would you take
isn't-
different bits?
the murder itself is surgical, clean, and there's nothing like magical about it there. Do I know of anything occulty, being a master of occult, that uses the parts that have been
Oh God,
described?
yeah, hundreds
Loads
of
of
things.
Okay, right, okay.
I mean,
Yeah, it could be any kind of
It
stuff. It could be...
They could be trying to make a new person. They could be sacrificing things to particularly discriminating demons.
They could be making new cups of tea,
Yeah,
They could be doing a rain dance.
it could
making
be.
soap.
It could be an art installation.
Cool.
If they were making so if they had any like actual useful bits other than like the little squishy bits, they had any like arms or
Oh, I've heard they've
stuff.
taken all sorts of bits, not like whole lot.
So you know that circus that's got all those weirdos in it?
Yeah.
What if they run out of weirdos and they're making some more?
No, those weirdos, they're all like from birth weirdos. Have you heard
Is
about?
that a thing?
Have you heard about the fish one?
Is that a thing?
The fish one.
Yeah,
So
it's
different.
It's
They're all
like-
blessed in different ways.
like half drowned, half fish, or something.
Well, they must be double suffering right now.
A drish? Or a fowl?
I don't know.
Foul. Yeah, I'd say. What?
Okay,
What if
that's weird.
the circus are going around, right, telling everyone how great it is upstairs as a distraction? Meanwhile, the murderer is following them around, picking their targets. Did your mate go to see the circus?
Yeah, she did actually.
Yeah, see, it's a distraction. You get loads of people in,
This
right?
is what we call a coincidence.
No, you're right.
You get loads of
'Cause
people
she
in,
went
and then you can look at them and go, oh, I fancy that one.
the day before.
She didn't go the day after.
And then you send your... That would be
No.
really inconvenient.
No,
The day
she
before,
didn't.
as distractions go, that's pushing it somewhat.
No, she went to the
Murdering
circus
people
one
24
day,
hours later.
and then she was dead the next day.
Oh.
Have you heard of any other ones? Oh, you lot? Has any of your mates got killed by that murderer?
I'm walking away. I'm walking slightly away. I'm going to take a midwife.
This
I'm going to take
is a lead. This is
No,
a lead.
this is not a lead.
Now,
This is
Nim
just
does talk crazy nonsense, but when I used to hunt, you have particular hunting grounds because particular prey go to particular
Okay.
areas.
And
Right, now you're
targets.
actually talking sense.
See?
So if the
I'm starting to
circus
make
were
notes.
a hunting ground,
Yeah, but what does this have to do with the heat?
don't know.
Yeah,
I've really run out of leads on this water thing.
Oh,
20 people who've been to a circus 24 hours before. It's somewhat niche as hunting grounds
maybe
go.
the hunter likes stalking them.
One of my
Have the
Tenants.
murders...
got killed,
Yeah?
and it was a waste because all they took was his fingers.
That's
It is.
odd.
They're building a person.
You don't need to kill someone for their fingers, do
No,
you?
they
No, you could just cut them off.
proper slashed him up and then cut his fingers off. Well, what of his fingers were left?
What do you mean slashed him up?
What do you think it means?
Well, they slashed him up. They proper killed him.
Yeah, but like,
They proper killed
like
him.
made a right mess, or like, because like you said that the other one was all surgery stuff.
Yeah, like razor blades.
Razor blades.
Is that a thing?
Like
I just like to say it slowly.
They chopped him up with something really sharp,
Yeah.
and then cut his fingers off. No, I cut one of his fingers off, but I left him alive because that way he
That's
continues
reasonable.
to pay rent.
Yeah, that's decent.
So they took the fingers from someone who'd already lost a finger.
We didn't take all of his fingers.
No, I get
'Cause
no.
there was one
but
missing.
they'd lost a finger.
Yeah.
But then they took the other 9 fingers.
No, only the one on
You
the
don't
hand
have
that
that
had them
many.
all.
You don't have that many fingers because
Thumbs. Yeah. All right. We can get into classification.
unless they're on the circus.
In the Spire pedants corner today.
Yeah, the revolutionary pedant.
Actually, it's
you
a
call him peasant.
grammar revolution.
Has anyone come across one of these murders in place? Has anyone?
I was going to say, can I go back through any notes I've gathered with investigation and low society
Says a lot
about
of-
where the murder's been and where the
Circus has been.
If there's been any information that I've been able to, like from my.
You might need to go and find out where
Okay.
the circus has been. The murders you can map
Okay.
because they're sort of things that you would have been able to find out with
Okay.
your skill set.
All right.
So talking to guardsmen, identifying where bodies were found. They're all in sort of quiet alleys. Most of them have been women,
Okay.
except for the guy with no fingers. That was a guy.
Can you find out if the murders and the water started about the same time?
Also, the water boy guy said that the circus had been down over there and like 2 days before over there. So we know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put that on your map.
Okay.
Helping.
Why don't we go find this fucking caravan? Circus.
Yeah. All right.
Otherwise, she will not shut up. And that's as good a reason to do anything.
Well, we're not going to find. I mean, the water we need to go to upstairs. So
Yeah.
let's take a look at this caravan
It's
and we'll
right-
head
it's
upstairs
probably-
later.
yeah,
At
absolutely.
least that's on this floor. We can
Yeah.
look for that, and then we can go
Okay.
look for water a bit.
Do we have
As
any
you walk
idea
out of the bar,
where
I'm
it is?
gonna go. Yeah, you bastards! You give us our water rents as I walk through the crowd, so they don't think I'm one of
Do
them.
we have any idea where it is?
The circus.
Yeah.
Are there big like
Still
are there big
signs.
floodlight things going?
No, there are not big floodlight things. It's not that kind
It's
of
not Dumbo.
circus. No.
It's a sad
More of a
caravan.
bug, it's more of a bug's life.
I'm a beautiful butterfly. My wings.
You know, look for posters or pamphlets. There's gonna
Just
be people
because, you know,
shouting
if
about
it
it to
was
advertise.
say
Yeah.
not that far away.
Yeah, it's not difficult to find out the location of. It's about an hour's walk to get there.
Okay.
When you get there, they're just about finished setting up, and it's a fairly low-key affair, to be honest. I mean, people keep talking about it like it's this massive circus, but it's a covered wagon that folds out into a stage with 2 other covered wagons with it. There's 5 guards stood around the wagons, and there are 4 handlers who are sort of moving between the wagons, keeping an eye on things.
People with sticks.
People with sticks, whips,
Okay.
prods and pokes. Some of the guards have got those kinds of things as well.
I get the feeling that you're not going to enjoy this.
So I'm going to get my gun back from the guard.
Thought you might.
And then, you see, what I wanted to know is whether or not the caravan was in mob distance of the people outside.
Mob distance.
Because then I could, and then we could go and, just...
Can't you do a rabble rousing?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
But an hour, that's quite a long time to keep them occupied, really.
But you
Well,
could
I'm
raise a
sure
new
it's
rabble.
Yeah, there'll be
Yeah, when we
people
get-
around
It's
here.
rabble central round here.
It is
Oh,
rabble
yeah.
central.
So they were already keen.
They're already fired up.
Yeah.
How hard is it? Why waste the time starting up a whole new rabble when you've got a rabble?
Yeah.
We heard they were financing that circus with all
So-
the money that they're taking from you.
That's probably
I'm gonna-
not going to work.
I'm gonna say as much though while we're leaving. I'll be like, it's not them you want to worry about. It's them that are up there, and the one that's voicing them that up there is that bloody circus. That icon singing the wrong song. I'm telling you.
Nim, look, someone over there is being repressed. What time's the show start?
Help, I'm being repressed.
To the violent inheritance.
Well, being repressed is going to be these poor mutants, isn't it? So these guys,
got a plan.
the handlers have sticks and everything.
Got a plan.
Excellent. It involves
Oh, dear.
breaking up this
Well,
this
in fairness,
travesty of
only one of the handlers
justice.
has got a stick, and it's only that long. But it does look like it might have some kind of battery attached to it.
Oh, cool.
And one of the handlers has got a whip,
Yeah.
but the other two don't.
Okay.
Are these people considered low society or high society? I don't know. It's like an icon and all that kind of stuff. Is it still low society?
She's
gonna be low when I'm finished with that.
I know
low
there's only
society.
like high is only really like right up there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the posh knobs
Just-
that are high society.
Just wondering if one of them could be my NPC Bond, one of the guards. But if it's not, I've got high society, so it's fine. Don't worry.
If you wanted one of the handlers to be an NPC Bond,
I've got crime and high society, so I don't know if
Crime seems more likely
crime
in
does.
society.
Well, this was just, you know, yeah,
location.
oh, you got crime and high society.
yeah. I've got one
Oh,
of
I
each.
see.
I've got one of
Sorry,
each.
yeah.
So I reckon we wait till they set up to get everyone out of the wagons. Then no one's in the wagons. We set fire to the wagons.
You know, your class is called Firebrand. It doesn't mean you have to try and set everything on fire.
I admire your spirit
I think
in him,
that
but
look said in the rules. It doesn't say you can't.
the greater good is we're either trying to find a killer or something to do with the water going
They're
into the
abusing
city.
It's them!
drought.
I'm telling
Oh
you,
God,
it's them!
absolutely!
Push
This
the-
is horrible
push the,
subjugation of.
The elf here.
Of,
Because if we just like cut it up a bit and scare them off, they'll just like sew it up and get them to sew up and then fix it again. If we destroy it, they can't have it back.
So,
And then-
my friend, I
and then
think
they're free.
I think my Lejean friend here asked you a question. When does the show start?
Who are you asking? Sorry.
Who? One of the guards.
Okay,
Because
so
I guess the handlers look busy. So.
That's cool.
It won't be.
one of the guards is sort of limping round the outside. That's the one you ask. Yeah. Well, it's due to start in about an hour. We're just finishing sort of setting everything up. Your Reverence, sorry.
Happy in your work?
It's not ideal, but you know when you've been injured, there's not a lot of work you can get as a guardsman. I'm lucky to get what I can get.
How do you get injured?
Oh, I took an arrow to the knee.
Better than taking an arrow to the eye.
I saw that happen to someone once. He thought it was the wind. No, I was a soldier. You know, wrapped up, goggles on, went out and fought wars against the gnolls. Messy business, messy business. An arrow to the knee, couldn't walk anymore. And they shipped me back here. That was it. Discharged. Get out. But I'm still a bit handy with a sword and a spear, so I can still find work.
Get it where you can take it.
Get it where you can take it. And, you know, the unfortunates, they're a bit of a state. But, you know, we do what we can for them.
I'm going to gesture at the whips and a stick with what looks like a battery to it and go, what are they doing for them?
I don't agree with everybody's technique,
motivation.
but you know how it is when you pull together a group of like people like this. Some of them work to live, some of them live to work. Me, I work to live, so I do what I can. I keep them safe, I keep the show safe, keep an eye on everything, stop fights in the crowds, that kind of thing. Yeah, you probably want to stay away from the tagger. He's a bit of a nasty piece of work.
That's it.
Ding!
Is he one of the
Target
unfortunates?
No, it's you see that guard over there cleaning his nails with a knife?
Yeah.
Abe the tagger.
Handy with a blade?
Yeah, but he's a bit, you know, likes to cut on the unfortunates if they piss him off. So we try and make sure that they don't piss him off. He's not a nice piece of work. But if you talk to Alyssa, she's all right. One of the handlers. She looks after him. You know, patches up their injuries, that kind of thing.
If you noticed any regular attendees other than obviously the guards and the handlers yourself?
Yeah, funnily enough, there is a few. We get a couple that sort of followed us around. We,
One of them's one of them water boys.
any show like this, you get people that want to run away and join the circus, don't they? And we keep trying to tell them it's not a circus. It's a morality show designed to highlight the inherent nature of the system as it stands. But they don't understand that. The fundamental dichotomy of drow and elfir society as it stands. So, they still think run away and join the circus.
I'll come.
No, you're failing to understand.
Oh no, I've got it. I'm good.
But you've got all your bits.
Yeah.
And you can talk.
Yeah, I'm not going to stop doing that.
You're not unfortunate, are you?
Well, I don't know. It depends on your perspective, but I'm not going to bore you with a story. That's his job.
But you're not unfortunate compared to these kids. They're proper messed up. So while some of us stay on and look after them,
Apart from him.
well, rough with the smooth. I don't like it, but it's my job. So I stay on and look after them when I can.
What about the star of the show?
Star? I'm really a star. I mean, everybody's got their favourite freak.
No,
Unfortunate.
your ring. Where's the ringmaster?
Jerome?
I don't know if that's his name. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a funny old soul.
Right.
Very sad.
Sad.
Seems very sad about the whole thing.
Odd for a ringmaster.
Yeah, I mean, he's not. Again, you think circus, you think he's going to jump out with a flashy coat and a big hat and wave and shout.
I can do
Sing
that.
and dance.
No singing,
like
no
big coat.
dancing. It's all very sad stories that he tells, but he can catch an audience just so.
Make everyone cry, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Right. Does he?
got away with words.
Okay. Does he turn up, or is he around here somewhere? Or is he?
He'll be in his wagon getting sort of
Ready.
Yeah.
Got that
Practicing
one.
his stories.
So where around Pilgrims Walk have you been? Where have you done your show?
Oh, we're doing a circuit, so we sort of started up by the mezzanine.
Mm-hmm.
And we're doing a circuit all the way round, like a little corkscrew, and then back up into the works from there.
A little bit like this.
Yeah, that looks about right. Yeah. Oh, you've been following this then?
Oh no, I've been picking up information. I'm a writer. I write stories. And
Oh, right.
I'm
well,
just here to
you
get
should
first-hand.
watch, because
I think I will.
Jerome has got such a way with words. Very, very moving.
Maybe I could maybe pinch a few lines or something.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll be okay with that.
Have less of a way with words if he had less teeth.
Oh no, don't say that about Mr. Jerome. He's just trying to do what he can to help the situation. He looks after the unfortunates. He
Helping.
does. They'd all be homeless, foodless, and in many cases dead because it's difficult to find food when you ain't got any hands.
Okay. Okay.
I'd be curious when the show starts if you could just point out some of those regulars to us. If you're about during the shows, where are you going to be?
I'll be nearby, but I like to keep an eye on Abe.
Okay.
Well, we could keep an eye on Abe. I could keep an eye on Abe if you want. If you want to.
There's a way of dealing with him. You don't want to answer force with force because he gets angry.
Okay. The Tagger. Is that his name?
Yeah.
And why do they call him the
hiring him to protect the unfortunates if
Well,
he hurts them?
He keeps him in line. They don't cross him.
So he's the bad cop,
Yeah, you could say.
and you're the good cop.
Yeah. We're rallying.
Okay, well, hang around and watch the show, I suppose. So just go and see what. Because we were told it was about boosting the elf here, but this guard's saying it's like, play showing the situation, which may be actually more what we're after.
Well, does it? Just a quick question for you. Does it paint it in a good light or a bad light, the current situation, or does it just say this is where we are?
What situation?
Does it piss water?
No. That's really horrible to get hold of down here. I really wish we'd started in the works.
Yeah.
But this is where we've been.
So there's no problems in the works.
None that I know of.
Cool. Made a note of that.
It's in the notepad. Okay. Well, Moralian, thank you for your...
I best get back anyway. Yeah, watch the show, see what you think.
I think we will.
Seems to be the next stage to see the show, because he's describing it differently than we'd had described to us, so I'm sort of interested to see what the show shows now.
Excited for the show, Nim?
Yay.
Another one of the guards comes around, got huge boots on, great big thick furry barbarian boots. Even
Oh,
in
mate,
heat like this.
those are some kickers.
Yes.
Nice.
Don't take them off.
No, couple sten please for show.
Yeah, sure.
And he's
Clink.
rattling a collection box. Good, thank you. Sit, you sit.
I sit.
Yes, Reverence, you sit nicely. And you sit down and the show starts up and they've got a couple of little drow boys holding mirrors to reflect light up onto the stage. And this very, very tall, thin, pale drow in almost funereal clothes somberly walks onto the stage, lace and ruffles and frills, and he is wearing a top hat, but it's more the sort of top hat you would expect to see on a funeral director than you would expect to see on a ringmaster. And he bows and he doffs his hat and he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you so much for coming to listen to our little tales of woe as I introduce to you these poor unfortunates and tell you their tales. Please do not be overly titillated by the condition in which you find our tender charges, but consider the ways in which they have come to be such."
Do they have tails?
He looks mildly perturbed.
He said they had tails.
First, we have poor young Eric. Eric the goat brain, a human child. And out comes this sort of human boy of about 12 years old. And he's sort of shaky. No, 15 years old. Wrong age. Otherwise, that's all kinds of wrong.
Okay.
And he's really spotty and really jittery, and he's like rubbing his thighs and sort of
Hi, Big Reeves.
looking around at his a little bit like that. Now, poor young Eric has trouble differentiating between what is good and right and of his own people and that which is not. And now Eric is a fornicator with animals. A sad tale. "Oh, you filthy pervert!" shouts someone from the audience. Now, please. Young Eric knows no better. He is deficient in many ways. He has not yet learnt that he must keep it within his own species. For is that not the tale that this tells us? That his condition as we see it now is all due to his inability to recognise that the species should be kept pure and as they are, and there should be no mingling. And the boy's led back off stage again. And was like, he shows a pervert. Oh, what's so special about that?
That was weird.
That was weird.
That was weird.
Should I do my what's weird thing?
Hold your horses.
That wasn't that weird.
No. Just in general.
Next up, two of the guards.
I mean, if he's not going to show us him fornicating with an animal,
Oh, yeah. We want proof.
he could just be lying.
Yeah. Could be lion.
Hoist a big glass-fronted
Fish drow.
up onto the stage. Dirty, greasy
Murdrow.
glass, and inside there's a skinny, scaly little drow boy with completely white eyes, and it is very scaly skin, and he's eating like a fish, just raw, gollum.
How big is this thing?
The tank
Yeah.
of disgusting fish boy water,
Yeah.
smaller than a small bath.
Okay.
A very small bath.
So he's almost sort of crouched in it,
Okay.
like a French bath.
And he's in water.
Yeah, and everyone's
Yeah,
like,
he's submerged.
just give us the water. He can piss off. My dear man, you don't want to drink this water. Sadly, Francis, the less kind members of the community do call him Fishy Francis. And Fishy Francis has a taste for the raw fish that swim in the pipes and the cesspools and the pits. And as you can see, it's driven him quite blind. The preparation of food is an essential ingredient for civilization, and eating that which is right for you and not for another. And is it not true that stealing fish from the pipes and basins of the waterways of this fine town is what's led to young Francis here being so twisted and maladjusted?
There's none in them at the moment.
Okay, this
I'm
is
not
just
going to
weird.
shush her.
Yeah.
This is perfect. I'm loving it. And then Fishy
What's
Francis is taken away by the same two gods, one of whom is sort of teetering slightly.
Is he drunk? Bet he's drunk on fish water.
It's strong stuff.
Next up, a little hunchback boy is yanked up on stage by Abe, the one they call the tagger. Pulled up on stage, a collar around his neck, and he's sort of reeling about slightly drunkenly. And he's got massive sleeves, raggedy sleeves covering everything. And when he's pulled up on stage, the ringmaster Jerome says, Now, Ordos, show the good people your hands. And the boy sort of shuffles back his robes, and he's got no hands. His wrists just end in two bony stubs. Such is the penalty for those whose parents would be thieves. Young Ordos was born with no hands. As punishment for the transgressions of his parents, this teaches us all not to steal from our betters.
Bullshit!
Are you beginning to see a pattern start?
Yes. Yeah. 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 Do you want to set this place on fire?
How's the rest of the crowd react?
The rest of the crowd are all kind of really sort of creeped out and very quiet.
Why are people liking this circus then?
They're not liking it.
Oh,
no.
right, okay.
They're being cowed by it.
No, right here, but didn't someone say that they wanted to go and see it twice or something?
Yeah, but that's because it was weird and he's
Oh,
thick.
okay, it's a weird. Yeah.
Wait, look at the thing! Wait,
Most
yeah.
of the people here recount. There are a few people that are pointing and laughing and
Yeah,
jeering.
but
And,
everyone else is sort of going, oh.
all the sort of right-thinking people are just kind of going, I'm a little bit uncomfortable. And the whole thing does seem to be set up to make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And to make you feel a little bit worthless.
Who around here is watching people and not the show? Apart from us.
Yeah.
Is there like some Batman figure in the background? Who's just like going,
Sharpening other than Abe, actually could be Abe.
Right, I am going to ask you to roll on this to see if you can spot it. So, it would be investigate
Yep.
and crime.
No, I don't have crime.
Okay.
Okay.
So neither side get
So-
one die roll.
Just Pete, because he's
Oh,
the
right.
only one looking
Okay.
For now.
for now.
I can't see
And
anyone.
it's
So
going
much
to be
more.
Or
difficult. So
I could say, once per scene, ask the GM what's weird or out of place here. No,
you could do
that might not be weird or out
You
of
could
place.
take away one dice though, because this is a particularly challenging.
Oh, I have to
test.
get rid of one die.
Yeah,
Oh, so I've got one.
you've got one dice.
Okay, let's give it a go.
Go on. Our first roll in this game's going to 1.
Oh,
Hey, thank you, Simon. Jinx that one.
And you know just where to look, and you pinpoint, crouched up high on a building nearby, not watching the show but watching the crowd. There is a hunched over figure, wreathed in shadow, doing its absolute level best to hide. This is someone who is very good at hiding.
I'm gonna
No one would have spotted that.
I'm gonna turn and go, yeah, stuff, because they probably can't hear us from that person. Probably can't hear us from that.
That
far.
person is paying particular interest to your little group, assuming you're all sitting together.
Yes, but I want to. As soon as I see them, I want to turn away and be like I'm just joining in,
Like
and
you've
sort of
not
go.
seen them.
There's somebody up on top of the building over to the right. Like I'm literally saying that because they won't be able to hear me from here.
That's true.
Probably.
What do they look like?
Bit hunched over and wrapped in clothes. I can't quite see.
When you look again, they're gone.
It's gone.
Bring on the next act.
Well,
By this point, they've
Someone watching.
well, hang on.
Yeah.
Someone was there and they're gone.
So you're right.
They were
so
watching
someone
us.
Following
Okay.
the circus.
Should we
And-
chase?
And
Yes.
currently,
I'm gonna get up and run.
pattern is
Someone from the watching
and
the circus dies.
and most of the victims
What?
have been
Women.
Cut up.
So it's you.
and I'm in here making a big thing about being asked to the hi.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was all playing out exactly as I'd foreseen it.
I told you I wanted to hire them.
So you need to go walking on your own. with us a little bit behind.
We're gonna finish the show.
Yeah, once the show's finished. But I think our Lazar friend has just run up. Jean.
That's fine.
You did tell me to chase.
Yeah.
I've just.
You've been chasing off
I've
Bob
just
Alley
run out
after
of the
someone
tent.
you've never seen.
No.
Who's gone in a
Where's
direction you
Klaus
don't
I'm
know.
gonna run
no
after.
idea.
I'm gonna run after him and go. Stop!
I do have a skill. Oh, you're going to stop me.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
run out and go. Stop.
Okay.
Next up,
We will wander back into watch the
a completely normal young girl is brought up on stage. Now, sadly, I must request of the audience, does anybody have a pocket watch or a device of some kind that I might borrow for this tale?
No.
I've got a gun.
I've got to use a man with a gun.
You'll get your chance, don't
Oh,
worry.
I know, but I was thinking a man with a gun could walk in and shoot him.
And a man at the front hands up a pocket watch.
Plant. Plant.
Now you should be warned that Jinxio is an unfortunate
What?
girl,
Is an unfortunate name.
It's one of our Discord
and, is,
members.
and was
They all are.
born with a terrible curse. Like all drow, she lacks the true competence to understand machinery, for that is a human failing. And he says it
Fuck
with
the humans!
such disdain in
Yeah.
his voice.
Well, that's true.
And he hands her the pocket watch, and she just sort of sits there and holds it. And a spring goes doing out the side of it. And she sort of shrugs apologetically, gives it back, and slopes off the stage. Rubbish.
What was that? What was that supposed to be?
So wait, is she a human child or a drow child?
She was a drow child.
Right. So because she's drow, she's rubbish at tech.
No, she can do tech. That was her showing off her tech skills.
No, that was her being rubbish at
Oh, rubbish at tech.
That was
Okay,
the
so-
drow should avoid technology because they're rubbish at it.
Yeah. Yep. I'm right there.
And there are a few more shows that are brought on for your
getting the
edification and
gist
delight.
of the-
You're starting
Generally,
to get
don't
messages
do
for it.
anything because you're shit.
The next one is a boy who obsessively draws pictures of castles and dungeons. Muses on dungeons, they call him. And the moral of that tale is that when you obsess over something, you are trapped in a dungeon of your own mind. Maldamun comes on. She's a drow of loose morals who cannot help but continually lay eggs, but she keeps losing them, and it's a sign that chastity is very important.
I think we need to burn this place down.
Thanks. See? Called it.
Us all the map of skins, covered in tattoos, but the body is a temple and should be kept sacred to Limyi, the moon goddess. We shouldn't be drawing on ourselves.
I'm going to draw on him. Brass
And
knuckles.
there are a few more. The final act is eventually dragged up after another 3. A diminutive, heavy-set drow boy, Arcalifax the Accented, they call him. A bearded drow, ladies and gentlemen. Such a hideous creature. Where could such monstrosity have come? And listen, as he speaks, and they sort of shove him a little bit, he's like, What? What does they want? It's not my fault. I were born like this.
He's beautiful.
Slovenliness.
You're all
ladies and
beautiful.
gentlemen. So basically the whole thing is a big morality act about how the drow
sack of
should know
shit.
their place and
Yes.
just suck up the fact that they're all terrible
Go talk to that guard again.
When they
and
take
deserve to be under the boots of their
We
elfin
do need to go
masters.
talk-
when they take
Permanently.
the people off the stage, where do they take them to? Do they just put them back in their box?
They're taking them out of one wagon and putting them in the other one.
Okay.
So they've got 2 wagons. They started with them all in one. It looks like when they transport them, they split them between 2 wagons.
But for the sake of the show.
But for the sake of the show, they cram them all into one.
Uh-huh.
Then they move them all into the other one so
Okay.
that they can go over the stage and off.
Okay.
Still the wagon.
What pulls them?
Nothing that's there.
Excellent. That doesn't help.
A rabble could pull it. There's a rabble around you.
And the audience are mixed in their responses.
The reviews were
Reviews were mixed.
yeah.
There are a few who have sort of started to agree with you more and more as the show's gone on. I mean, like,
It's all bollocks!
yeah, that's actually grim and wrong and nasty.
Did we pay to watch that?
Yes, you did.
That's what I'm going to shout out. Like.
And most of the drow there are actually quite cowed because they're used to being
Upstairs
oppressed.
propaganda.
Come on.
Bollocks.
These are all people who are so used to being oppressed.
Nope, doing
They're
it.
telling them that
Doing
their
it.
rightful
Doing it
place
now.
is being
I tell you what,
oppressed.
I am writing a scathing review of this show. 0, well, half star. I don't give anyone 0.
2 stars.
No one gets 5, no one gets 0. That's just
I'm
silly.
just mentally picturing Chaucer from A Knight's Tale. I will
Good people!
eviscerate you in print.
Yes. That's what I'm going
I'm
to do.
doing it.
You're doing it.
I've already got a crowd, so let's
It's
go.
not going to be hard.
Let's go. So yeah, I'm gonna raise rabble.
How are you going to raise a rebel? What are you going to do?
Well,
to
I've
raise
already
your
been
rebel?
like jeering and just generally causing a nuisance the entire time, and apparently some of these good people agree with me.
Yeah.
So I'd like for a few more of them to agree with me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hand her a
And
flag.
we're gonna go and get our money back for a start, because that was a rip. And then we're gonna like free the prisoners and fuck it.
Storm the Winter Palace.
Yep. Set light to that because that one's empty.
You raise your rebel in the
Hang on,
gods.
why am I
And get some water. They've got water.
They have, but there's been a fish boy in it.
Yeah, but these people are desperate.
Just strain
it's
it
hot.
through a sieve, it'll be alright.
Run it through your
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
Fish Boy needs the water. You can't hurt Fish Boy.
Oh yeah, true.
Does he
Burn the wagon!
That's better.
Yeah. Okay, are they,
Smash the main wagon.
She
the one
rousing
with
a
the
rabble?
foldy down bit. What's his face?
Right,
Gibson,
you're
'cause he's
rousing a
twat.
rabble, and the rabble are roused.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, we want our money back." And the guards are looking a little bit confused.
Like,
so
well,
the
shit.
the guard that you spoke to,
Yep.
he's
Moralian.
conflicted. Do I or don't I? I
I'm
mean, I
gonna-
want
I'm
to make
gonna-
sure the
I'm
kids
gonna-
are okay.
I'm going to give him a a little. We're going to save the kids.
All right, I'm
This is a
going to
joke.
make sure they're all right. And he backs back over towards the kids and he sort of starts guarding the wagon that's got the kids on. Two of the handlers do as well. They sort of both pull back around the wagon with the kids on. The guy with the big boots.
Oi, Boots, give the cash back, mate.
I am not have cash anymore. I guard children.
Is it in the wagon, yeah? The big one.
At this point, one
It's
of
in
the
the
other,
big one. Go! Charge! Just gonna tip it.
one of the
Take
other,
it.
Just gonna start
one of the
running
other
the
guys
wagon.
with like flame red hair.
Yep.
Starts shouting, all right, we can take them. There's only 4 of them. Come on, hold them back. We can hold them back. Protect the caravan. Stop them getting anywhere near it. Come on, hold them back.
Get the ringleader.
Shoot that.
So
person.
the drunk guy, the tagger, and the red-haired one have all sort of gathered around the wagon, and with them are the handler with the cattle prod and the one with a whip. So there is a little group of guys guarding the
main wagon.
caravan with the money.
The main one. Yeah.
And
The
then
money.
you've got
Yeah.
Miralion and Foot of the Mountains, who's the big boots guy, and Elyssi, who's the sort of one that actually cares more about the
So
kids.
the kids are over there in the other wagon, and then
So
they've
you've
got
got
2 guards,
1, 2 guards, and 1, 2
and then the main
of the
one's in the
handlers
middle.
are with the kids, and
Yep.
then you've got 3 guards and 2 handlers that are protecting the main caravan.
I'm gonna shout at the flamehead guy and be like, mate, I like your style. You're on the wrong side. Just turn around and join in. It's all good.
Not happening!
All right then.
Fight!
Right. Cool.
So your rabble like start flipping over benches
Charge!
and
Yep.
pushing down
Pick him up. Use him as a battering ram.
waving placards where they came from.
Yeah.
Down with this sort of thing.
Or just
It's that
carries
guy
one in
again.
case.
Take your hood
Down
off.
with the
Wave it
writing or
around a
down with the
bit.
show?
Yeah.
Which this sort of thing are you writing against? I'm gonna steal a TV out of a shop. Or a large bag of rice.
Okay, so we're going into combat now.
Ooh.
Combat in Spire is fairly free form and narrative. So if you want to act, the quicker you think.
Boom! Hey, you've already gone, haven't you? You've got your gun out.
I'm watching for 8. That's my target. He cuts the kids. That's
He
it.
does. It's true.
That's I want
not a
to
nice
make sure
man.
he goes down. And if this shit's going to kick off, which is going to kick off,
Woo!
I want him to go down.
It has kicked off. They're a little bit loath to storm the main wagon now that there's sort of 5 armed guys protecting it. But you lot might be a different story.
I'm in.
Really?
I'm going to back them up if things get bad, but I'm going to keep an eye out for Batman.
Okay.
He might help.
Or evil Batman.
Slasher Batman.
Yeah.
Bat slasher.
That sounds like a really bad hobby. That's even worse.
I know.
I'll follow Nim because
She's going for it.
we're on the same team. Like, as much as there's always conflict, like
Yeah.
I have utmost
they're
respect for
doing a-
Nim's capabilities.
appalling thing that's
Oh, yeah, it's horrible.
pressing it.
I'm standing back, I'm taking notes.
We need to
Yeah,
Right, okay.
Yeah, that was bullshit.
Someone's got to
Are
be
you
able to relay
shooting
the
or are
fight.
you going in for a brass knuckles punch up?
Okay, so who's in like what have they got?
The guards, you've got.
Do any of them have guns?
The pissed bloke has got a fairly nasty looking axe,
Right, but he's drunk, so
but is drunk. Shouty man's got a sword.
cool.
There's electric cattle prod guy, and there's a guy with a whip.
Okay, Shouty Man has
Oh,
taken
and
it.
the tagger who's got knives.
Shouty Man has taken it upon himself to disagree with me, which
Yes.
I take offence to. So, so if he's waving a sword around, I would like to shoot the sword out of his hand
Interesting start.
because I don't need to kill him because he's one of us. But he's on the wrong team, so I want to disarm him.
Where's Jerome in all this? Is Jerome
Hiding.
retreated to the couch?
Hiding.
Jerome,
in
is,
his
Jerome
wagon.
is in his wagon.
Okay.
Like, he was kind of on stage, and he's kind of like into the covered bit of the wagon. So, Sam, please roll fight
Yep.
and low society.
So you get
Oh, actually, no. Are you shooting him? It's
one
fight
for
and
having.
technology.
Okay, so one for having nothing.
You get 1, and then you add a dice for fight, and you add a dice for technology.
Okay, well I get 1, and I have no fight and no tech.
Okay, so you roll your 1 die.
Yeah. It's a 4.
It's a 4. It's
That's
not great.
good.
So, but
I'll rabble
if you're trying to
rousing,
disarm him,
can't handle
you might just
myself
miss
in
him
a
and kill him.
Can any of
Four
us fight?
is a fail.
Oh, you can.
I miss.
On which note, you will take some
My gun explodes.
stress, as your gun does not help you. The recoil from your gun does you some stress.
To what?
I'm not telling you, I've got to keep track of it.
Oh, okay.
That way
So
it
what is
keeps it more
resistance?
narrative
Is
and
resistance
exciting.
relevant to stress?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Your reputation. You've got
It's fine, I just fire in the air. It's all good. Charge!
Blam, blam, blam!
Yeah,
Pigeon.
Nim does not slow down.
No,
She's just like, whoa.
shoots and charges.
Yep.
Okay, anybody else?
Yep.
What are you going to do?
I got a knife. I'm going to stride up to tag her. We'll have a knife fight.
Yeah!
Ooh. Knife fighting priest.
Alright, that's fight and crime.
fighting crime.
Oh, no, that's fight and low society.
Oh, okay.
I've got low society.
You can have low
Yeah.
society. I would have accepted low society or crime.
That's good, low society.
Okay, so
Then we can all do a bit of fighting.
One dice for free, and then one dice for fight, one dice for crime if you have them.
So, no, and
Or low
no.
society.
So, one dice.
One die. Cool. Can I use your three?
You can. 9.
9.
Yes!
Yeah.
You go steaming up to him and you shank him. So that's a D3 of blood stress for him.
You,
Ooh.
And while he's distracted,
Well,
I'm
hunting
going to
skills.
smack him around the back of the head with the chain.
Nice.
Just coming around the side
Nice.
and bang, sort of thing, you know.
Okay, could you also make a fight and low society?
Oh.
That's 3 dice, everyone.
Hey.
wow.
Look at that. That's the fighter. Oh,
And then
that's
you
a
take the
And
highest.
9.
And
I'll
you
go with
take the
for
9,
that.
which is a complete success, and I believe that does
D3
and-
again.
Oh, good lord! Right, he is not well off because he has just taken some fallout from that, so he is down and bleeding.
nice.
You've floored him.
Cool.
Nice one, guys.
What do you want to do?
I'm going to write down what's going on and do a brief sketch of that scene because someone needs to tell this story. And
tale
but while
must be told.
I'm writing it down, I'm like, look, I'm also I'm like, oh, they did that. Wait, is he around? Is he around?
Okay, roll your investigate.
Yep.
And what was it before? I said it was crime, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I don't have crime. Here we go.
You've clocked him once, so I'll let you roll both dice this time.
An 8.
Nice.
That'll do it.
8 is a success, so you do indeed spot him again, observing your little group. Not so much you at this stage, he's observing them.
Yeah. Okay. I might have to go and get closer.
So you're going off on your own to
No.
fight the mass
No, I
serial
didn't mean
murderer.
that. No, that's not what I said. I said closer, not close.
Probably not that dangerous.
Abe is bleeding,
Yeah,
so he can't
probably
really
not.
do much. Gat, the pisshead one, is going to take a swing for you with his axe, which
Pass with stress.
just about passes with some stress. Oh, hang on, that's the wrong dice for that because it's low stress. So, yeah, he takes a little bit of stress, and so do you.
You're keeping track of that? Yeah.
Yep. Ooh.
That hurt.
Yeah, that hurt a lot.
Oh, okay. Axe to the
In fact, I think I'm going to have to roll for
Axe to the groin.
you
Have
take
it back,
Axe to the
No
groin.
fallout.
so you're lucky there. It hurt, but
Yeah.
you're not taking any fallout from it, which is good news.
It wasn't radioactive.
Yeah, I preferred Skyrim.
Tavian is going to cattle prod you
Come on then.
because it's funny.
Dodge. Is there a dodge?
No. Oh!
Oh, when he does.
Alright.
Oh,
You two are going down.
how much
Nah, heroes.
blood have you got on top of normal?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay, let's find out.
Just the regular 8 pints.
Is she taking fallout?
She is taking fallout.
Okay, well, I'm...
Whatever that means.
Yeah. So there's the cattle prod comes in. I get in the way because I've taken down A, which is fine. So then I see the cattle prod going in.
And you interpose yourself.
And I just.
So what does your power do?
Basically, they don't take any fallout, but I take D6 in that stress.
So you take stress in that instead.
D6 is it's
Okay.
I have +2 if it's blood, but just in case that helps.
That does help.
For our viewers, I do like the way Leon's.
I can see some of the results.
But that's
quite good at rolling
because,
six-sided dice, it turns out.
must be playing more D&D with dice rolls like this. Yeah. So that hurts. You can feel the electricity course through you, but he's been doing this to children.
Okay, well,
You won't like him when he's angry.
Which only leaves Red Roger to try and stab you.
Red Roger.
Which he apparently fails to do.
See, he knows he's wrong, really.
They're all rolling 2 dice and guys, so we're going to get absolutely shot. Some of these other guys.
Yeah.
Just the rolling mob kind of kicks in soon, we're in trouble.
Yeah. Need your mob.
He fails and swings wild, and you're able to sort of bring your knee up and just sort of knee him in the shoulder. Unfortunately, it wasn't his face.
Drop it and turn around. Come on.
And he does swing around, but he's not dropping it.
Kapow.
You're kind of trying to compel someone in the middle of a fight, so go on then, make a...
Yeah, he's obviously, a handy bloke.
Alright, make a compel and...
See which way the wind's blowing.
And low society.
Okay, so 1 for doing a thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then one for
crime.
compel.
Yeah.
1 for compel and 1 for crime if you have it.
1 for crime and then 1 for mastery crime.
Oh, good lord.
10!
Yay!
Come on, redhead, you're with
He
me.
swings around and he sees the fire in your eyes and he just drops his sword and he starts to back away. I don't want any trouble. I didn't mean
Pick
it.
it up and come with us.
He runs away.
Oh.
That was
It's good though.
major success.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a very good success. Okay, Liam, what are you going to do?
Go for the axe guy, because
Go
he just
for the
swung
axe.
at
I
me.
swear he was going to say go for the eyes.
Go for the
Guys,
eyes.
boo, go for the eyes. Yeah, so I'm just going straight in with that. Okay, go for him.
1 die.
With my knife.
10!
10. I was a hunter. Come on.
Yeah.
Handy with a blade.
Clearly you're a shit hunter.
What?
Because you get 1 die.
Only need one.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah,
Fair
against
play.
people.
Oh yeah, against people.
Right.
Serial killer's got nothing on me.
He goes down. He's bleeding a lot. There's more blood coming out of him than there is staying in him.
Yeah.
Just step over that.
Oh.
Well, this guy's been, he's been zapping children, and it's fucking painful.
Yeah.
So I will
Zap him.
I'm just going to smack around the head with my chain. That's what I've got. So, yeah.
Fighting low society or fighting crime?
Fighting the society, an 8.
Okay, you clunk him around the head, but it's stunning as well.
It's stunning, isn't it? Yeah.
Stunning.
Stunning. You James Bond that every time I say it.
Stunning.
So you hit him in the face with the ball of your ball and chain, and he starts reeling, drops his cattle prod, and sort of staggers around drunkenly.
Cool.
What else do you want to do to him?
I want to pick up that cattle prod and prod him.
And shove it.
Shove, yeah.
Shove it where the sky don't shine.
This character's called Sky Shrine.
Roll credits.
Okay, while he's stunned, you just scoop up the cattle prod off the floor and you jam it into his gut, and he folds around it as you tase him, and that will actually refresh you.
Because you defend.
Because you've just defended those who can't defend themselves.
What does refresh do?
Refresh gets back your lost.
The stress.
The stuff
Stress.
I lost from jumping in the way.
Okay, cool. All right,
Yes.
yeah, okay, right. That's cool.
If that's what it does, great.
Reinvigorated.
No, so-
You're reinvigorated by
Yes, I've done
restoring
what I need to do,
the
yeah.
rightful state of affairs. This guy won't be hurting any more children.
Excellent.
So yeah, you've got the two guys that you fought down and bleeding. We fought a priest, and now we're bleeding to death on the ground.
I know, he knows where the important bits are.
Red Roger's run away.
Can I just sort of go,
Thanks for your help.
well done. I'll get a point.
I'm going to look where he's pointing.
A shadowy figure disappears around a corner.
I want to run after it.
He's off again.
Come back! You've got my pewter tankard.
Were you going running off?
I have a pursue skill, so
Okay.
I'm going to...
And I'm going to follow you as well.
He outstrips you. I mean, for a man
Sure.
in robes, he's pretty nippy.
That's fine. That's fine.
He is.
I'm top on adrenaline.
He is giving chase.
Just clubbed two guys to death. You're next. There's a new killer on the streets.
But by the time you get to where he was, he's not there anymore. Or she. I don't want to be judgmental. They are not there anymore.
Okay, I'll look around, but I'm assuming...
They've gone.
I've got a nose for trouble.
You have.
What's weird? What's going on here? What's there about this place that this person was hiding?
Right, it would appear that this circus, this travelling morality show, is a trap. Designed to oppress the drow who are oppressible and to weed out those who aren't.
And
Hi.
to kill them.
And the ones who aren't seem to be the targets for the killer.
Fine.
So, whoever is behind the circus is probably also behind the killer.
Dun dun dun.
Right. So we need to go and give Matey Boy a drubbing.
You're going to talk to the drone. That's what I'm going to be doing. Those two sorted off.
Yeah, we've sorted off.
We want to break in and...
And I'm going to come back with a really good conclusion. They'll be like, yeah, we're just...
We know.
yeah.
and beats down Jerome. Why he's oppressing the drow and doing us down in the way he is. He should be boosting the drow and boosting people and telling them, how they can be more
The
than
truth.
they can. Yeah.
You kind of got him pinned in his chair at this point. He's he's sweating quite profusely and dabbing at himself with a
quite hot.
handkerchief, and he seems genuinely upset by the telling off that you're giving him. No, but I'm just trying to help.
How are you helping? How are you helping by making people see nothing in themselves?
When we fight, we lose. Just accepting our place in the
You might.
in the scheme of things means that we survive, and survival is what counts.
Survival's not living. So where's everyone? Is everyone else either bleeding or run away?
Yes.
And then whoever else is
And then the nicer guards and handlers.
looking after the kids.
looking after
and that's
the
fine.
kids.
And I will direct the frustrations of the crowd at the other wagon that they can smash to their heart's desire and have whatever's in it. And this one for that matter, because apart from this guy, we're going to have this guy.
So you sort of drag him out of the wagon.
Yeah. Right,
So
it's all yours.
who put you up to this? Who's paying you to put on this appalling show of depression?
But my patron doesn't want to depress. He just wants to inform.
No, he doesn't. So who is your patron?
I'm gonna punch him
brought
in his
with
pretty
the wrong
pale
end of this
face.
cattle prod, making these sort of points. But
But my lord is just helping.
who's your lord?
I punch him.
Tell us.
I punch him in his pretty pale face. Brass knuckles.
Brass knuckle, yeah.
Chin.
Compel.
Some
Compel.
teeth come out. That is compelling.
I make a very compelling argument.
You do.
A little bit of blood runs down his jaw. But my patron swore to me we were helping. We were doing good.
He's
They
not. He's
lied.
not. Who is it? And I'll turn the camera. I'm not going to prod him with it. I'm going to poke it next. Who's threaten him with it. With the correct way around. Who's your patron?
The Lord,
Paid you to say this.
the Lord Morningvale Dawn has paid for the show and helped me find the children and bring them together. But he cares for them. He looks after them. He cares for all the drow.
Do we know anything about Lord Morningdale?
Do you have any high society?
Gut punch.
No.
Gut punch.
Never heard of the guy.
Okay.
He just wants to help the drow
Gut punch.
and puts through suffering.
I think I figured it out. Someone is paying for this. I'll say I'm not. Someone is paying these people to come and play this morality tale as a trap for the killer.
Oh, really? So, Lord Morningdale then? Lord Morningdale Dawn is paying for this
Oh right, okay.
crap show.
You got to Jerome then.
They've got Jerome
Okay.
in an alley and are currently working him
I
over
have a high
with a cattle
society.
prod and brass knuckles.
Just for my friend's kind of correctness for the notes.
Yes,
For the story, facts are a thing that I'm sure that you're,
of course.
Yep. So is it morning like
But facts shouldn't.
morning, or is it morning like morning? And is it veil like, veil, or like veil?
That's Dale, I thought. So it shows how little we picked up on.
Morning, Vale.
There we go.
Okay.
I got that one.
He kind of
Okay.
slumps over to one
Is it
side.
hyphenated or is it
to be
one
honest-
word?
I believe punctuation is important to his lordship.
It's important to me too.
with my high society
the high knobs.
contact,
Who's
do I
that?
know who that is?
Morning Vale Dawn is a well-known and respected philanthropist among the Elfir, who is widely regarded as having a bordering scandalous concern for the drow and their betterment.
But in a weird.
But in a weird, he thinks that they're slightly clever monkeys kind of way. He's sort of very much like your classic Victorian gentleman
Yeah.
going
Who raise the
overseas
savages.
and raising the savages.
Yeah. Okay.
Make sure they know their proper place.
Right.
And he is well known for his endeavours in raising the downtrodden to a place of kept servitude.
Right. I'll relay this. I find it interesting that this person would then wish to send a killer out amongst those, maybe to take out those who were less compliant.
So did you find them?
I saw where they were.
Okay,
They
so
got away.
let's. Did you get that broken pocket watch? And we'll time 24 hours, and then when I get a knock, we're all good, yeah?
Sure.
Bear in mind the bodies were found the following day after the circus. It's not an exactly 24 hours later
Yeah.
anti-strikes.
I know that.
Dong.
Did you...
Just felt the need to clarify that, just in case I
Sorry.
wasn't being clear.
It's fine. Nim is being intelligently theatrical, or she'd like to think so, because
Thorben, how good a look did you get the second time at them?
Well, it was dark, and they're wearing dark clothes and a
Okay.
dark cloak.
But they can jump really
They can
high.
jump
I was just
really
thinking-
high.
And they were wearing a mask.
What if...
They're wearing a mask. What does
Call
that
me
imply?
crazy.
What does that tell me?
Elfir wear masks all the time.
Okay.
What if...
It doesn't mean it is an Elfir. Elfir also use masks to convey ideas. To an Elfir, the mask
it's
is
V.
an essential part of your dress. You wear a mask at all times. It's considered horribly vulgar to not wear one.
They only do it at home in private, don't they? In front of,
Even
like, their
then,
shrine.
you might do it in front of your shrine or your spouse, and only under certain circumstances. Some drow take the idea of the mask to extremes, and instead of actually wearing a mask, they'll just have a drow walk around in front of them all the time
Oh, blimey.
as their mask.
Right.
But some drow will put masks on things to convey a concept. So
Or
the
you-
mask is the thing. That person stops being the person and becomes the identity of the mask.
Okay.
Wasn't one
Did
of
the mask have like 2 pointy ears?
It did not, no.
Wasn't one of the character classes mask based?
Yeah.
What,
yeah.
Shadow Agent?
No, the mask.
There's the mask or something.
Yeah.
There's also a beautiful, beautiful PDF available from Rowan, Rook and Decard, which is basically a catalogue of masks,
Oh, cool.
just full of gorgeous artwork and specialist masks.
So, but it looked like an elf because of the physical capabilities.
Not necessarily, no. I mean, Elfit are no different in terms of physical capabilities to Drow.
Okay.
They tend to be more magical.
Okay. But this
And
person was
not
able to leap
allergic
tall
to
buildings
sunlight.
in a single bound.
This person was able to leap very, very high.
And there was no sound of machinery or anything.
Make an investigation technology roll.
Ugh. Technology? Don't go near that. That's dirty human stuff. 10.
Ooh, nice.
Yes,
I'll have
you
to
heard
investigate.
a faint hiss and a twang as it jumped.
Ah, so some sort of piston-fired jumping legs.
Or grappling hook?
Could be a grappling hook.
You
But I
know
think-
fun.
But I think piston-fired jumping legs is...
Oh, well, they did say that the killer had spring heels.
Indeed. They're going to have some sort of retrofitted gun. Gas gun or something that fires a rope, allows them to
Out of their
swing
heels.
around. Can I see if there's
That'd
any
be
kind of...
counterproductive.
Can we go to the area and see if there are any kind of grappling hook like
What about this one?
marks on walls?
What was this one? Were you pointing at
Slumped.
Jerome?
Yeah.
Alone in the labyrinth? He is now.
I just want to put the Thorben. What if Morning Vow hasn't hired a killer?
What if Morning Vow is the killer?
What if he does all his stuff and the others don't like that he's trying to help even though he's shit at it and are therefore trying to sabotage his efforts by taking out anyone who is not rubbish?
No, I think maybe he's got some weird,
Eloquent.
twisted... He thinks the resistant drow is some kind of weird, aberrant creature that needs studying and has sent someone in to, like, examine parts of them.
I think you can study me. Starting with a finger.
Why don't you go wandering around the streets a bit and we'll see if you get...
Ah, this is a great game. Let's do this. Which way do you go?
Just got this mental image of you like, do, and with you lot all like, do,
Yeah.
do, about 10
There's
paces
no point me
behind.
sneaking. I want him to find me.
True.
Oh, yeah, you should loudly walk around, and
Do I ever do anything else?
we'll follow at a discreet distance.
I've heard of this thing you call stealth. Don't quite get it.
We'll follow you from 3 blocks over because we can still hear you.
Hooray! Me and my mates.
You, chin up. You, fight the power.
Okay. If we are being observed, though, maybe we should make more of an obvious show that we're splitting up, as opposed to having a discussion. Because if he,
Sure.
she,
Yeah,
they is
yeah,
watching us
yeah.
right now,
Well, it's fine, because we've obviously pretty much finished what we were doing here.
Yep.
And,
As in
we
destroy
around
everything.
all the destruction.
You look
It's
around.
like a flaming wagon
Your
rolls
rabble
behind us.
just a wheel.
Yeah, just a
Just a wheel.
flaming wheel
Yeah.
from a wagon rolls past.
Who's going to finance the poor drow people that run the
right.
show?
It's fine, we'll send him back to whoever his face is. If he, loved him that
Batman.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got 10 disabled drow children.
I haven't.
Well,
And you just gave all the money to the crowd, so even the guards aren't going to get paid now.
what do you want us to do with this lot?
Very good question.
Says Moralian.
You know got homes to go to.
Well, I've got an home, but I can't fit like 10
What about
injured
3?
and mutated children in it.
You know, they're not really... Like, the one with the watch thing, that's nothing. That's not...
But she broke the watch.
I don't know, she could come with me. She looks helpful.
I'll break a bloody watch if you give it to me. This gun hardly works half the time.
Well, where do you want me to take them? What do you want us to do with them? I mean, you know, we look after these kids,
There must
but
be-
we can't
What
adopt
about
them
your
all.
church or
Is there an orphanage or
midwifery?
any concept of that down here?
The whole place is an
Oh, that'd
orphanage.
be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, they're the streets, and whoever picks them up. Do you know somewhere we can go? Any of you?
Well, he's going to go crying back upstairs and possibly not have a job to go to because he's not as pretty as he was. Which is a crying shame, frankly. I mean, who would ruin a face that perfect?
He lifts his head up where he's laying on the ground. Beauty is a curse. He croaks out at you.
Someone step on his nuts.
I think it's the only bit she hasn't stepped on.
So who looks after children? I mean, just sort of on a general basis for this thing. Who looks after children after the midwives have, looked after the eggs?
Well, after you've looked after the eggs and they've opened and the young have come out, they often go to their parents till they grow up.
Parents
and then they
look
go
after
to
them.
their children.
Parents don't look after their eggs.
Parents don't look after the eggs, yeah.
Midwives look
Which
after
means they
eggs.
can keep working.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
But yes, arguably you could hand these kids over to the midwife organisation to find a place for them. They won't be thanking you for it because these aren't kids who are going to go on to have prosperous careers because they're all quite damaged.
I don't know, I reckon
Well-
I've got use for the jinx.
You know, it
So you've
seems
got
to
a
me...
use for the jinx, and the draftsman kid might be useful.
Or, what was Limpy's name again, sorry? Moralian. Or, Moralian, I see you as a guard sitting on top of a wonderful opportunity here, because what you've got are the makings of a show that could do with a new narrative, perhaps,
And a new
where
boss.
everyone can then be the shareholders.
Yeah.
It was still making money. I'm sure you weren't seeing all of it.
Yeah.
You look like someone like you knew the ins and outs of what was going on.
You reckon community theatre?
About the uplifting nature of the drow and how we can rise above our constraints. And this very event, you could in fact play out.
Oh, maybe teach a couple of them to juggle.
Maybe not that one.
Drones survive in lots of environments.
People would
Look
pay
at Fish
twice as
Boy.
much to see that one.
What does that sound like a little bit, subversive?
As opposed to what you were doing. Come on, we've got people to catch and things to sort out. I'm sorry, but I think you have a travelling show of your own now. And one less wagon.
I wish my wagon wasn't on fire. We'll do what we can. What am I going to do?
I look forward to seeing the new show. We'll go.
Staring out
Let's go.
at these sort of smashed up hay bales, just like a big pile of straw.
Yeah.
A burning wagon wheel, just doing circles.
Fine. It's great. Great circus.
Helping!
Does anybody have them?
I think you should take it to
Do you know
some
what I mean?
more
What's
often.
the cash to in the wagon? Or did...
We've got to hand it back.
The
stem was handed back to them.
Okay.
the rioting
You got
rabble
your-
Big up
may
to
have
the
taken
people.
care of it. Do any of you have a
I'm
refresh
one of the people.
that would be appropriate? I think you missed that. My friend.
I think mine's the opposite.
I know, I
of
was...
that.
You don't refresh on that. You've already refreshed.
I'm refreshed.
What's your refresh?
Take something back from those who oppress you.
Right. Yes. Yes, I believe that may just about qualify. So, Leon, you're the only one who currently
mine's
needs to refresh.
Help those who cannot help themselves. Kind of a stretch, I guess, to say.
We just
help the
rescued
kids.
them.
You have not helped
Totally
them.
rescued.
yeah. Not really.
I don't think directly enough.
It's fine, Jinx if she wants to.
Oh, she's looking at a fine recruit for a future cell. That's a terribly good plan.
Could, come with us. The others, I think, are a bit young.
Wait, maybe we'll come back.
Slipper of business.
What we're doing right now is probably a little bit dangerous. Send her to the ministry.
Yeah.
Say she's up for training. There you go.
Okay, so from there, where are you headed?
Go to a bar, we sit in a corner, you go and get a drink you start drinking at the bar, and then when he comes in to
Yep.
kind of like collect your spleen or whatever it is he's going for this time, we jump him.
Okay, so we
Sounds
go to a
perfect.
bar, and then I fill my organs with something worth stealing. Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly.
I like the
Sounds
cut of your
good.
jib.
Let's go.
To the bar.
To the bar.
Very
You're not
best
having a
to
drink.
stop him getting your spleen.
So you go to
Sorry.
a bar,
You're
you do a spot of drinking. Rather surprisingly,
Nothing
a
happens.
mysterious and unknown serial killer doesn't kick down the door
I know,
to
right?
a bar, burst in,
No, you got to be in the alleyway.
and
next door.
harvest your organs in
Yeah, but
public
no,
view.
then you leave the bar after a while because he's
Yeah.
watching the bar, and
I
after a
shall
while
be.
you leave the bar.
I shall be
and then
totally more drunk than I am, or less drunk than I look, or something.
We'll
The
go out
three of
the
us will
back.
leave the bar
Less
first.
drunk.
No, we'll go out
You
the
are
back of the bar and then
pretending
loop
to
round
Yes.
for when you come out.
See, I knew you'd know.
We'll go out the back of the bar and loop round, and you come out 5 minutes
Looking
later,
less
and we're
drunk.
watching.
Yep.
We'll see if we can
So
find.
you stagger
Casually.
performatively out of the bar and into some alleys. Are you guys going to follow?
I'm going to sneak
At a
after.
distance, yes.
Right. Well, I think in that case I will ask you to make a sneak crime or a sneak low society roll.
Sneak is
and
still.
low
Oh, sneak
society.
is a skill.
Not you.
So do I get three?
No, I was just looking. You know, I haven't got
You
it.
don't want to sneak.
No, I don't.
And none of the rest of us can.
And neither does Nim.
Sam, you
No.
roll.
I can sneak.
9. I can
Nine.
sneak.
Stealth priest.
7.
That's not bad.
You can
Just about.
sneak.
I am the anti-sneak.
You actually do sneak like this.
Also,
He
So my reputation
succeeded.
goes down because I look stupid.
No, it was your shadow that went down.
Oh, okay.
Because while
I've got +3 shadow.
which
just
is
so you
lucky. So yeah, you are very, very good at sneaking. So effectively, because you're good at sneaking, the stress that you've taken to your shadow is kind of irrelevant because it's just reduced you to the level everyone else is at.
know. Okay. Well, I'll slum it.
Yeah.
don't we all?
We do.
That's the point.
Yeah.
It's all slums.
Cool. Right.
All the way down.
You're going to get murdered. Come
Hopefully
on,
not.
hurry up.
I'm staggering back to wherever it is that I sleep. If I sleep. Perception check. Nope.
Are you any good at percepting things? Is your investigate
No.
good?
I haven't got it. What do I need that for? You don't need to know stuff. I know what I need to know. They suck. It's that way.
In which case,
You're dead.
Actually, after we've left the pub, so following, so we're just about to see. I will pause and I will do Web of the Mistress because we assume she's being followed by whatever freak. So I fix plus occult, and I can cast it and I can be aware of everything in the vicinity until I move.
jolly good.
So I'll try that to try and be aware of, figure out where this person is and something about them. So there we go, I'll try that.
So you know where the attack's likely to take place then. That's pretty clever.
Yeah, I can sort of tell these guys.
Okay,
stuff.
does
I
that give
can't
you any
move then.
stress?
No. Well, so I have to cast it. I have
make
to
a
do
roll.
a fix plus a cult, so I assume I'm rolling 3 dice.
Yeah,
I've got
so if he
fix and
fails
occult.
a roll.
So I assume it's around based off that. But I mean, look it up because I've read it once. I'm not. I'm working for 10.
Oh,
So
Well,
I'll do it.
Web of the Mistress, D. Nope, you don't take any stress to go with, which is lovely. So, yes, you work out that this guy is following Nim along the rooftops, ready to attack, and that the best place for the attack to take place is about 2 streets away, where no one in the bar would be able to hear their screams.
okay.
Scream.
I didn't specify whose.
He's on. Stop! He's on the rooftops. He's going up. He's up there. You can't see him. He's over there. I think it's going to be two blocks down. We need to. That's where he's going to jump on them.
Go around that way, I'll go around that way.
Okay.
You guys keep going.
We'll fan out.
I'll shout if anything changes, and I'll run in just before it's going to happen. Okay.
Okay.
Doo-doo.
You are suddenly stabbed from behind
Ow.
by something very thin and very sharp, and it hurts.
This is a surprise.
Really hurts.
Stop it does. I had to use a GM screen to roll dice in my D&D session the other night because otherwise one of my player characters would have died a lot.
But, you know,
Also
it's
good
only
for hiding
me,
your notes
so...
as well.
You've got 2 kidneys. As long as we get there before the second one.
Fine, yeah.
Hill Giant rock throw crit
Oh, nice.
on someone who only
Yeah.
had 9 hit
And you're
points
like,
left.
I'll just get the screen out first.
Oh, look, you've gone to -9.
I'm rolling damage. You did 8 points of damage on 8d10.
That's really unfortunate.
So, yes, you are stabbed from behind.
I shall swear
Stabbed.
You've got-
profusely.
Bonus blood, haven't you?
Nope.
No, you haven't. It hurts a lot. You do not take any fallout from it. A blade, thin and sharp, goes right into your shoulder, like, on the hand that's got the brass knuckles.
That's alright, there's a gun in the other one.
From the feel of the knife in you, try to infer something about the killer.
Yeah. Oh, he's
Well,
very
no, I don't need to
refined.
infer anything if he's got a bullet in his face.
I like the way you're having conversations out of character. Like that as well.
Out of character, but yet somehow in character.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you're stabbed. What do you want to do?
Do you scream out?
No, loud swearing.
Oh, loud swearing. Okay.
Yeah.
We hear the loud swearing and run. I'm going to do something
You're
reckless.
close in.
Because you
Yeah.
knew
Yes.
where the
Yeah.
attack was going to happen,
Yeah.
you can be very, very close.
Okay.
What reckless thing do you want to do? Please tell me how reckless it is and what recklessness is involved, because that will make a difference.
I am going to run round the corner, run up a fire escape, and leap off it onto the figure that is stabbing Nim.
This could not go wrong.
Not at all. Okay,
heroic.
how does the power
He
work?
lands on him, who lands on me. You
Got a clue.
crushed.
How does the power work? Once per session. Oh no.
So,
Oh no, it's just do something reckless for the sake of a good story. That's my refresh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's...
And I'm just an idiot anyway, so I'm just going to run and jump and try and attack.
Right, so that does the refresh on the stress that you'd previously taken.
Yeah, on my
because it's
shadow.
a really stupid thing to do.
Yeah.
Throw yourself off a rusty fire escape onto a serial killer. Now, the serial killer, now that you can see it, the three of you, because it's still kind of behind you, is a thin, quite shapely figure wearing what looks to be some kind of high-heeled boots. Their first 2 fingers on each hand and their thumb end in razor blades this long.
Cool.
Their face is a smooth and featureless electrum-sheened mask
For the next 5 seconds.
until you crumble. Tilted to one side like a broken mechanical doll.
Okay.
It's Edward Scissorhands meets that Nazi dude from Hellboy.
Great.
Only a girl.
Yeah.
Gender flipped Nazi
Oriana
Edward
from
Scissorhands.
League of Legends.
Yeah.
Okay, well, charge in. I mean, that's...
Yeah.
So you all go charging in. What was your first action going to be?
Bam!
Okay, roll fight technology at -1 dice. for
So
shooting
no
behind
then.
you. You have no dice.
Or I could just try and stab them.
Would you have more dice for that?
No, I don't.
But you don't have anything to stab with.
No. I know.
Headbutt them.
Yeah, it's got
just
some
grab
mileage.
them and turn
But
them.
you don't have fight, do you?
No.
Other people fight for me!
Yeah.
Do you know what I do have? I do have Run Away.
Oh my god, you're that character from
Run
memes,
away.
aren't you? All the things!
Yes! What do we want? Time travel! When do we want it? Irrelevant! Right, fine. Well then, yeah, in which case I will just attempt to extricate myself from being stabbed. And, nope.
Okay, roll a dice then, and see if you can extricate yourself from being stabbed. Really don't cock this up.
6. Could Could have been worse.
You pull yourself off the razor blade and a spray of blood lances out of
That's
your
fine. There's
back.
more where that came from.
There may not be, you know.
Spine need to do a
Well, no,
Kickstarter
at
for a
this
screen.
stage, when
Hey,
we're talking
I
about
have a dice
stress,
in. I have a dice in steel. Can I steal their mask? Because that would be a giggle.
fallout.
Because if it is at one of the upstairs, and they're
Let's-
all like, "Oh, look at me behind my pretty face," I'm just like, "Yoink, mine now."
You are going to be taking some moderate fallout.
Yeah, go for it. I'll be
from
fine.
having done that. Yes, your left arm is completely useless. They've severed something important in your left arm.
Can I
That's fine.
do my jumping in the way thing?
And you, not at this
Not-
stage, not until.
Okay.
So
Excuse me.
the bad guy's going to do something and then you guys will be there.
Okay. Fine.
Okay.
That makes
Except
sense.
you will be acting on the same turn as the bad guy because of your bad guy. You've done it to me.
It's Batgirl.
Yeah.
It's not though.
Woman.
Evil
It's
Batgirl.
Death Chick.
Death
It is
chick.
Death Chick.
Sam said it.
Behind the mask is an ostrich.
It's a chocobo.
Oh, don't.
Oh, sorry.
That'd be awesome.
We're not allowed chocobos. Ben doesn't like them.
Okay, anyway, let's carry on. Crodloos.
What?
A Crodloo. It's a Dark Sun chocobo.
Oh, yeah, of course it is. Lizard chocobos.
Yeah.
Yes, so your left arm dangles uselessly at your side as you rip yourself free and potentially cut something important. Like
Yep.
a tendon, maybe. One of those squiggly
Ligaments.
bits that's
Yep.
on the inside.
Yeah,
that you
we'll worry
kinda
about that
need.
later. I haven't got time for that right
So
now.
you've got a useless left arm and you rip yourself free just in time to turn
through the
and
web.
see
Him flying through the air.
Thorben fly through the air.
Shooting as I fall.
shoot.
Oh, you're shooting as you fall. Fire away, my
doing
friend.
And they
something
land on
stupid.
me.
Fighting
and then I get
technology,
stabbed
that's-
in
Yeah, I've got no
front.
skills. I'm
I'm
an
gonna jump and shoot. I can't do either of those things. It's a critical failure.
Yay!
gun
I shoot
explodes.
myself. Or the gun explodes.
Death Chick steps neatly to one side and you slam into the ground,
At least it wasn't me.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah. I could have landed on
Yeah, yeah.
upgrading that to a D8.
Whoa, here we go.
Oh!
Is that a 1?
No, that was a 7.
you. Oh, I thought it was a one.
I'm down.
Oh,
I was going to say I'm going down.
It's going to take the whole
I am
party
down.
out in a single round.
That's one way to end a one shot.
Go well, yeah. And everyone died. It really is a hard life in the Spire.
Yeah. Dead.
Which is humiliating to you beyond all compare. Nelson stood in a nearby alleyway goes, ha ha! That level of
Oh,
humiliation.
my reputation.
You make a total arse of yourself. Nobody's going to come and help you. You've lost access to any of your allies for the rest of this story.
Oh.
Because you just
fuckers.
made a complete tit of yourself
Okay.
by face planting into the alleyway.
Okay.
Nobody wants to associate with you right now.
That won't
These guys
be,
are fine.
That won't be in the official story.
Obviously.
Just leave that bit out. It's fine.
But the rumour around the story, I'm afraid.
You got to finish the story first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, so seeing that, Death Chick, you've done this. Now, Death Chick crouches and leaps into the air, or goes to leap into the air.
Sorry.
I didn't get to do anything.
Go on, what are you going to do to stop it?
I wanted to jump and wrap round.
You
the
want to
boot.
try and tackle as well. What about you?
Don't do it at the same
If
time.
only you had
I'm
some
going
kind
for
of
a
ranged
boot.
based chain weapon.
Well, yes, I was smack her as I'm going in, just try and
Grapple her with it.
Get hit with the chain that grapples around the arm.
Okay, you try and
Go for a
grapple her,
boot.
you try and grapple her, away you go.
Well, my
And she
aim-
jumps.
I have
and you both
pursued
give each other a hug.
Fight
Society?
and low society, or
I've got
fight
low
and crime.
society.
Or even fighting
that'll do.
technology.
I will go with a 10.
How many 10s?
1 10.
Okay. I
One
thought you had
seven.
more than one 10
No,
for a
I
minute there.
didn't know it was important
just
until I done.
7.
Sorry.
So as you sort of push sideways onto her, 7 is a partial success. You take a little tiny bit of damage from the stabbing.
The stabbing.
The stabbing. As you
the new
grab her, she
Shyamalan.
starts like slashing at you in total silence, which is sort of creepy.
That's weird.
But you wrap a chain around her leg, and there's a crack from inside one of her boots, and a jet of steam comes out.
Told you.
And as the other one jets off, she sort of jumps sideways. And she's fine with that. Lands on her feet, staggers ever so slightly. She's got a Lajan attached to her. She's got a chain wrapped around her ankle. And Sam, what do you want to do?
Charge!
Always a classic.
Well, shooting didn't really work, and I can't hit her with my brass knuckles, so I'm just going to pistol whip her in the face and knock that mask off so I can see who she is.
Okay, good choice.
It's not going to work, but
Roll,
you know,
roll
that's
a
my-
dice
that's
then
my
and we'll
theory.
see how that
So,
works.
fight, nothing,
Yep,
but one for doing a thing,
yep.
and then...
Low society?
Yes!
Ooh.
Another one. 8.
Ooh, nice.
Wow!
You smack her in the face, or the mask, really hard with the butt of your pistol, intending to rip it off.
Yep.
That's the point at which you notice it's actually riveted to her skull all the way around here.
Okay, so neck then.
And it's
Got to take the neck off.
smashes her face around to one side, distorting her ability to see what's going on.
Ha ha! That was totally my intention. Meant to do that.
Which means that she loses a dice on the stabbing,
But still gets away with it.
but still gets away with it.
Who's she
So
stabbing?
I get shivved some more.
She is going to try and stab you some more.
Yeah.
Because you are the primary target.
Well, you know.
Target acquired.
Commence stabbing.
Commence the stabbing.
Just picturing
Did you take 4?
See
Yes,
through her
you
vision
did.
what's going on.
Yes.
Terminator.
You even told me about that one.
Absolutely. Evil elf technology.
Yeah.
Evil elf technology.
Oh, sorry. You don't need to add the evil.
But it's
Elf.
important.
Yeah.
Your instincts kick in and you do something stupid. If you're trying to de-escalate or get away, you lash out. If you're trying to fight, you get panicked and retreat.
Well, this was that anyway, so...
Which of those things is... What's the stupid thing that you're going to do? Pick a thing that makes no sense to do right now and do that thing. I mean, you don't have to, like, headbutt the fingernail.
Well, I've decided that I want a trophy, and I tried to knock the mask off, and it's not coming off, so I'm just going to go for a head. But I'm going to go for a head, and it's not going to work, because I only have one arm. So it's going to be like... Yeah, because in my,
the other
head,
side's going
I'm going, ah! And it's not working, so it's just like...
You kind of slap ineffectually at the face of this thing, which
Yeah.
is armoured.
Yep. That's what I do.
Okay. Anybody else want to do anything?
Can I look up? Spit puddle water out of my... It's not even water,
There's not going to
it's
be
dust.
puddle
It's
water.
dust,
I
yeah.
just spit dust out of my mouth.
Possibly
and just
my
go,
blood.
Whilst still laying down.
Oh yeah, lying down.
Smooth.
Bring the gun round and just...
Fire away.
Shoot me.
Please don't shoot me.
Shoot one of us.
Can I point out that I
three of us
can't
on
use a fucking gun?
Fighting technology. Let's see what happens.
3!
Hey! I might be dead.
Yeah.
It's a fail.
It's a fail. Oh!
You shoot, Simon.
Oh! I'm sorry.
Really well.
I stand in there, I jump in the way of
Could
myself.
it be
being
like a
shot.
ricochet? Like doom 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 doom.
Ah! You just shot a midwife.
He's
That won't
gonna
be in the official story either.
No, this whole thing is going to be. Don't worry, I'm going to rewrite everyone's, not just mine.
What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
I want to jump on her back.
Yeah, okay, do it.
Not me.
Low society?
Fight! Fight in low society.
I don't have fight.
Oh, low society then. One dice for that as
Who
well.
needs to fight anyway?
Six.
Another
right?
one for what for low society.
8.
Hey, you jump on her back, which is going to stop her from
Jumping
Springing
away.
off.
trying
I
to
hope.
spring off with her one remaining spring heel.
I said, so I don't want to lose her. So the chain's around her leg. So I'll wrap the chain around my arm, so I've got a good grip, and then just try and take out her legs. So sort of a rugby tackle almost. Just get legs between my arms. I want to get her to the ground so she can't jump and leap off and disappear somewhere.
You're going to try and what? Sorry.
Arms around the legs to try and
Okay.
stop her jumping off and leaping around.
That'll work because you've just been kneecapped.
Kneecaps.
Yes.
Okay.
Because
Yes,
he
your
shot
leg
you in the knee.
no longer works. You've just had your
Okay.
leg shot out
Okay.
by your colleague.
Someone.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a random shot
By a
in the-
shooter.
There was a shot and
Passerby.
and a massive pain in my knee while I'm
But as you
diving
go,
to go around that. So I'll
you
be
try
on the
and
ground
go.
holding onto the
So
leg, yeah.
drop a dice off of your total pool for fight and low society, and then see how we go.
Sorry.
6.
That's a success, but only barely, and you take some stress for it. Jesus, I'm rolling so well today.
Yeah, that was another 4 on a D4.
I think I've not
That's
rolled
angry.
below halfway on any dice I've thrown today.
I have.
Yeah.
He has.
Several times.
Yeah.
So, with your kneecap taken out and the pain blossoming in you, you fall to the ground. You wrap your arms around the leg that's got the chain on. You
Yeah.
wrap your arm around the chain. You've got hold of the weight on the end of it. And you're just clinging on to this woman for dear life. She's held and bound and not going anywhere while you're holding on. But you guys are taking a serious pounding. This one assassin has just
Also, she has
made
like
a
razor hands
mess.
and
She
they're free.
does have razor hands and they
Yes.
are free.
I realise none of this is helping, but you know.
So she is going to have to razor you again, Sam,
Yay!
because you are the primary target.
Yep.
But she's held, so we'll ditch one of her dice. 7 is a success at a cost.
Oh, now you roll a 1.
Now we're rolling. Yeah. Now I'm rolling for the bad guy. Right. She's not doing terribly well, but she's still able to function.
Speaking of function,
You might not be able to for much longer. 5 is less than 8.
Yes.
She just excises your knee
oh,
through your trousers, just gets hold of it and just twists it off.
Well, I'm not going anywhere.
It's horrendous.
None of us are.
I've still got a gun in my hand.
This
Point blank.
this assassin is clearly designed for the removal of body parts. She's disabled one arm, taken a kneecap. If she could get free of these
hey,
two,
we can
that
all
might
take
be
a
enough.
kneecap. That's-
What do you want to do?
No, it's
Point
the
blank in
kneecap
the
you're
chest.
after.
Go on then.
Because going for the head doesn't seem to work. So 1 for doing a thing, but minus stuff because I'm dead.
You're not dead. You still have that arm works and
So
your
I've
face
got
works.
So I've got no fight and no tech.
Do you have?
I have crime and low society. I have compel, pursue, and steal.
Roll your 1 dice and let's see. How you do.
3.
Oh,
Don't shoot me!
Ricochet.
Hey, I've got nothing, mate.
what am I kicking? Oh, it's a microphone wire.
yeah, don't kick that.
You
And another 4.
rip out something. No, because that's all gone now. Because you've got your
Okay.
no kneecap and your
Yep.
no arm.
Oh,
No, you know what? That's moderate. I shouldn't be rolling moderate. I'm a bad person.
Well,
be mauling severe.
I'm totally fine doing another stupid thing. I don't really know what a stupid thing would be at this point, though, because it's not like I can run anywhere.
You do something unsettling that bothers normal people. Obsessive behaviour, singing to yourself, fulfilling a strange compulsion at inappropriate times.
Like start
You
laughing. Or
kind of enjoy the fact that this person has just slashed you up. You start laughing. Come on, then! You're shouting at her to chop
Got
you up
another
some more. Yeah. Still got another knee on the other side! Hurt me! Is that all you've got? And everyone's like, okay.
It's like issues.
Pain is just weakness leaving the body! That's kind of where you're at the minute.
Okay. So yeah, just
Okay.
was there a berserker class?
No, there's just you.
Yay! It's fine. I've got this.
can I roll onto my back? Pull
dunno,
my pen out and my notepad.
You
and write.
start writing down what's happening.
It was just then that a man came through.
Yeah!
I have to cast a spell.
I told you you'd get a chance.
He comes in and shoots me to put me out of my business.
What did you roll?
4 is his highest result.
I'm not overly sure a man does come in, you know.
It's just a sign comes
My
out the
pen
gun that
doesn't
says bang.
My pen's not working. Man came through a door with a.
Ag.
Blood spray from the party.
Just. I got a 4,
Right.
which I think means I failed.
It
Best out of 3 dice.
does indeed mean that you fail.
My
That
God,
was a
my
1,
rolls have
a
been
2,
dogged.
and a 4.
This wasn't a 1-1. The man would have come in with a gun and helped her.
No, my pen's not working. I'm going to try again next turn.
There is a gun. It's not a man. It's her, and she shoots you with it.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Not
I'm
cool.
quite hurt.
Maybe.
Bitch,
No!
please.
She does not shoot you with it. She fails to shoot you.
Cool.
She tries to reflexively shoot over there with a sawn off. A loud report and a strange crack
Oh,
that's not from the gun.
cool.
And now one of her hands is disabled, which is good in many ways because now she can only stab you with one hand.
Yay!
Stab them.
Well, yeah.
And there was much rejoicing.
What do you want to do?
I'm just go for it.
No, okay.
So polite.
Break the leg. I'm there, all wrapped around it, and dislocate knee or do something really bad to that leg that I'm grappling with.
Go on then.
What am I on? I'm losing a dice.
Full dice now
Okay.
because you lost the dice last round because of the state you were in.
5.
You fail. You try to dislocate her knee and instead take one to the face. Oh no, that's the wrong dice. I want a nasty one. Lucky. Or is it? It's not. You are knocked out as she knees you in the face. Bam. Everything goes dark. Stars, darkness, sleepy time.
Okay. That's,
That's probably for the best right now.
I'm on the back.
pain goes
I'm
away.
going to go for my knife and I'm just going to start trying to just stab at the chest.
Let's have a stab at
might
it.
be a one-shot.
Which one's my good one?
I'll write a good story.
No.
I've got to get the bad rolls out. There we go. 10.
10!
Oh, look at that.
It worked.
3 dice
It
4,
does.
3 dice 5, 10 on 1.
Son of a bitch.
But at least somebody's rolling.
Yeah.
Those are Lisa's Scion dice.
Ah.
10's are good.
It's like the idea of the priest smashing the assassin in the face.
You don't stab her with it because she's squirming, but on the backspin, you punch her in the face with the hilt of the dagger and she flops and goes limp. And you kind of collapse on top of her. You've knocked her out.
Whoa! I'm gonna just step up and go, well done.
It's not a TPK.
Yeah.
Not.
No.
And that was a legitimate knockout as
Yeah.
well.
Cool. Okay. Down. God, I feel like I want a restrainer or something. Wait.
Take the rocket boots off.
You take the rocket
I'll
boots
take the
off.
rocket boots off.
I want to do my right of
respect.
respite.
No, they are rocket boots. Well, they're not rocket boots. They're like piston spring boots.
Cool. I'm wearing them.
Brilliant.
They might be a little small for you.
I don't care.
You'll have to take them to a cobbler to get them
I'll do that.
modified.
Yeah, I will.
So she's kind of.
And you might get looked at funny for wearing high heels around town.
Yeah, but then I'll just kick them in the face with my high heels.
Fair point.
So
empowered.
she's kind of a bit broken, but not as broken as me. But she's a bit broken.
actually more broken than you.
Excellent. So there's like loose bits. I'm totally nicking something. I don't care what it is. I want a trophy.
Are there feet in these boots? Like,
No. Wrestling the boots off leaves you with the stumps of ankles.
like fleshy ankles or robotic ankles?
Fleshy ankles.
Okay, right. Okay. Right. Okay. Nice.
I want to start healing Nim up
Okay,
With
so
the
you
kit.
start setting up your healer's kit.
for everything. I've got something here somewhere.
Take time.
I've also got the right of respite. Is that just a spellcast? I can't remember. That was Mind or Blood Heal 3.
I believe it is. Yes, it's a fairly short-term deal.
I'm just gonna
But
find
otherwise,
one.
if the healing kit makes more sense for the healing,
Right
I'll
of
go with that.
respite is you create a place of stillness and healing. You can lead them in recuperation while you hold vigil. Describe how you create a comfortable healing environment and how you help them. What are you going to do to turn this
Okay.
blood-soaked alleyway into a place of healing?
Okay, so open up the healing box, and now I'm going to pull out a couple of scented candles. Shall I like them? And a music
start.
box. And as I play, it's like. Da, 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 da. So I wind that up, and there's music playing. To create a soothing
I think,
atmosphere.
the music itself was beautiful.
Jealous of Noah right now.
So, yeah, I'm going to.
Nim doesn't actually have any current stress. It's just injuries that will need...
Oh, I thought it was mind or blood. I thought that was the damage. No, that's stress.
No, the damage is fallout
Oh.
following on from the stress.
Oh, okay.
The stress is cleared when the fallout happens.
Yeah.
She's just going to need to do something to get that arm and that knee fixed.
Oh.
So, you have taken down the killer. What did you want to do to her?
Steal something. I don't care if it's the
Face
mask.
mask.
Or, yeah, well, if it's like
Take the razor
riveted to
blades
her
off its
face.
fingers.
There you go.
Yeah, those are cool. Like, something.
So
I
you
mean,
are-
if they're like attached, like, if they're like a gauntlet thing, or if
They are attached, but they are attached.
Well, I'm going to do my very best to try and undo them with one hand.
You can collect two of the razor fingers
Yep, yoink.
without too much difficulty, because while they are attached, they're not sort of fully integrated.
Mm-hmm.
And she is unconscious. So yes, you managed to harvest some razor
Is
blades.
she drow or elfin?
Judging by the cast of her skin, once you peel back some of the layers of sort of leather and wrapping and binding that she's covered in, she is drow.
But she's been like
Or was
modified.
drow, but she is a heavily modified drow that has been edited surgically to turn her into a killing machine. Presumably she's been brainwashed as well.
Put her out of her misery. She had a steel plate bolted to her face. I'm going to sketch. I need it for the...
I use your drawer like one of your French girls.
But I think we should... I'm just going to walk over and shoot her, I think. Is there any kind of... On these masks and on the things, is there any kind of mark of a workman or a...
No, masks are intensely personal things. You could make an investigate in high society roll if you want.
Okay. Because I'll obviously pass that one. 6.
So you do with a little bit of stress. You have to dredge through the vaults of your brain, and you really struggle with this. But yes, this is most likely to be the work of Morning Veil Dawn.
Right. Yeah, this is...
His philanthropy takes a strange bent from time to time, and it looks
to
like
improve the drow.
No, he wants to keep Drow in their place.
he wants to keep Drow in their place. So he's built,
A drow killer.
yeah.
A rebellious drow killer.
Fuck him. I'll have him. Come on.
Maybe give it a
Week.
day or two.
I'll give it a week.
Okay. I think we should go and rest. We're severely injured, and
As soon as I can
my
walk.
clothes are really wet.
Round by now.
What do you want to do with the assassin?
Yes, you start to come round from your unconsciousness.
Oh, yeah. Actually, check now.
Are you going to shoot her in the back of the head?
What do we all
Shooting in the
think?
front of the head's not a good
I'm just
plan.
going to say to everyone, what does everyone think? I think we should put her out of her misery. This is like torture. This is like being turned into some creature.
I'm going to look at Noah unconscious and you half bleeding. I'm just scared. Yeah.
I still think hiring her would be a great plan.
I don't think it works like that.
You end her misery.
I think you were going to miss.
Don't make me roll.
You justify it
I
as
go... boom.
ending her misery. You know that if she were to face trial, she would probably vanish and end up back in the hands of
Yeah.
the Elfir. So
These bastards make us kill our own.
actually taking something away from them is a strike against the Elfir. So you have made some progress in the glorious revolution of the people.
Ow.
The Elfir. You've taken away their killer. You've been horribly injured in the process. You've fought a great battle and uncovered a conspiracy to squash the Drow people down into their place.
Mm-hmm.
And you've identified Morning Veil Dawn as an enemy of the Drow and an enemy of the Ministry.
Indeed.
Your superiors are pleased with your success.
I'm fucking not.
You are given aid and support in healing and recovering over the next few weeks, and while you do so,
You're a splint.
you can all choose a minor advance, a low advance, to add to your portfolio of skills to reflect what you've learned in this session.
Excellent.
That's the abilities.
Well done, yes it is.
So I can't just take fight. Damn.
Yeah, but some of them do give you...
Yeah. I'll have to have a look. But yeah,
thanks, yeah.
That's cool.
Cool. Thank you, Ben.
I'm having him.
That was a lot of fun.
Never lost
Also
my hunting
fun.
skills.
And it's nice to learn a bit about the world, really. So yeah.
Yeah. And try a different system.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I really like the flavour. It's
It's
just...
a good setting.
Yeah.
There's still a lot
it
you
comes
can do
through
with
in the
it.
whole... In the rules and in the game.
The artwork in the books is
It is
fantastic.
I
very
think
rich.
the less dice thing is quite cool as well. Like rolling it that
I
way
really
and taking the
liked
highest thing.
saving the dice rolling until right near the end, just to resolve the real
Yeah,
conflict.
it does say in there, like, do not... Don't
Don't roll
any,
dice for
don't
any
roll
old
dice.
reason,
Yeah.
just do it when it's really important to
Yeah.
do so. So I think saving the dice for right at the end there for that conflict really made it more important, made it more visceral.
And when I cocked up... it
Visceral
was
is definitely a word.
Visceral is definitely a word that
Yes.
does apply.
Definitely.
So, I hope you've enjoyed our show this evening. That has been Spire by Rowan, Rook and Decard. Do check them out. Do look up their stuff. There are many, many brilliant ideas dotted around in there. I have used some of the ideas that were scattered through the books to inform some of the games that were going on today. So some of the previous Kickstarters who had supported the game with some of their additional ideas. There was a story in Strata, so Dumpstat Int, you'll be able to read all about that. The Forgotten is a mission written in there by Lawrence Phillips, which is looking at ableism and body horror and stuff like that. And some of the ideas from there did work their way into the game today through the circus. The idea of Pilgrims Walk came out directly out of the rulebook, and when you get that, you'll be able to see the map of Spire itself,
Which is cool.
in all
That's
of
very
its
cool.
many layers on there, so you can see where things took place. But yeah, that was a fantastic game, and I'm really glad I got the chance to play it, because I've been looking forward to that since I read the very first Spire book. So that was fantastic. Thank you very much, guys, for coming and playing. Really
Thank you
appreciate it.
for running.
Yeah, thanks for running it. That was great. Thanks, Ben.
And I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope Rook and Decard kind of get off on that a little bit.
Yeah. Cool. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Oh, I missed it. Yeah, do that.
Get back in your box.
Also, join the Discard and play with Pete's Wee Me or whatever he's talking about.
Mewy.
Buy all the cushions on Redbubble.
Buy all the cushions on Redbubble. All the new cups and mugs.
I've got to say, I am thinking very seriously about getting one of those cups off of Redbubble just because it's got me on it.
We're going to get some for the studio, and so we can get to sort of show them off a bit.
I'm going
Sam's
to
done
be
some really
working
cool
on a
stuff.
few new designs for some of the other games as well, and we're looking for character quotes and inspirational things for me to use.
I did find myself needing a halfling name in my game yesterday and going, Gunter!
Cool. Okay. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and we shall see you soon for more
Flint and Steel.
Flint and Steel,
And Dark Heresy.
Dark Heresy,
And Lost Chance.
Vostok's Chance, and we'll be starting Fractured Empire soon, which is our Star Wars Edge of the Empire show that we're going to be running.
And we will be doing a monthly
Starfall.
Starfall Dungeons and Dragons meets Final Fantasy hybrid show that I've been working on for a while. And who knows, maybe you might see a little bit of a hack on Ravenloft at some time in the not too distant future.
Cool.
Depending on players.
And check out our back catalogue and all of the links below for our friends.
Just a festival of links.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Cool. Thanks for joining us. Bye.